I think that we should be live. Let's just double check my audio's working. Audio check check. Seems like we're okay. Let's pop out the chat. Close out of that. And let's just go pull up the room. Howdy, howdy. Pull up the guest room. That is. And oh, that's okay. Don't need that. Let's reload. There we go. Camera. Video settings. OBS virtual camera, there we go. Although actually I probably just need no video. Should be good to go. All right, we should be all set to go. Remember y'all to, when you do, welcome, welcome. Say hi. Say some kind words, like the live. We can get more people in here that way. What's the physics behind throwing it back in a circle? Good question. That is a critical question that will probably need decades of study. Can I check your video? I don't know what video you're referring to. But if you claim to have unlimited energy, then you're wrong. It's just the fact of the matter. Welcome, welcome. How did everybody who's just joining? Well, we have just started, so we'll be hopefully getting some guests soon. Will you eat a Pringle painstakingly slow today? No, that's not the plan. The plan is not today. No. Ah, yes, the classic Yo Mama. Excellent, excellent, Harsh. Is there only 6 different quirks? Yeah, as far as we can tell. Einstein, I'm not going to watch your video, sorry. If it shows up on my For You page, I might, but... Welcome, welcome. Howdy to everybody who's just getting in. Hopefully we will have a good live today. We'll have plenty of viewers. Otherwise... Do people still try to debate you on this one? They do. How do people think like this? Not judging, but it's beyond me. Yeah, tell me about it. But they exist, and so we have to deal with it. Such is the nature of things, right? Anyway. The Earth is flat, bro. True. Absolutely true. The Earth is definitely flat. I'm a flat earther now, don't you know? Don't you guys know? It's true. I've converted. Anyway, I was actually doing some reading about Aries' failure today, which is interesting. Flat earthers like to bring it up a lot. It's actually interesting to do an analysis from the relativistic point of view. Why do you think flat Earth has been catching on recently? Oh, I mean, it's been building for like the last 10 years or so, but essentially, I think it really started picking up with like the, really like the advent of the internet becoming super, super popular, and social media in particular, because social media let people who otherwise would have just been like lonely people shouting on street corners who don't know other people, who don't know other people who agree with them, and they couldn't talk to each other. Why do you engage with flat earthers when they're of no consequence to us? Content, bro. It's content. Bianca,
Hello.
how's it going? You're not a
Pretty
flat earther,
good.
are
How's
you?
it going?
I'm doing okay.
You said, am I a flat earther? Now, I
Yeah.
don't know what the rules are, but I am a flat earther.
Oh, you are?
Yes. Yes. I
Oh,
saw you
okay.
the other night on
Oh,
GT's not Instagram, but TikTok live.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So why do you think the Earth is flat?
I learned a lot actually from you. Now, it does go with my faith, and there's a couple things that I'm really hoping you could explain to me because I've heard them be explained, but it's like nah, it's a little bit opinion put in there. It doesn't make sense. But these are my two main things. The CIA documents where they state that they don't have the instruments to measure the curvature of the earth. I guess they went in planes and did some sort of experiments and observed, and they observed not just flat plane, but non-rotating. And that's what kind of got me because even though I'm iffy when it comes to the government or the CIA or any of that. I'm more for, like freedom fighter for the people. I don't fully concern myself with that. But I know everyone else, not everyone, each and every human being, I'm saying in America, but the masses, we use these documents for like, the truth, or even though we know they're not necessarily all the truth, allegedly, but that's where you go to for reference. Like if you can't go anywhere else and you can't believe anyone else, then a CIA document. So that's what kind of made me also be like, well, what was that about? You
Yeah.
know?
So I think you might be mistaken. I'm just gonna pull something up really quick just to make sure that we're talking about the same thing. Are you referring to? I
I
think I have
had
it
a
here.
screenshot,
Are you referring
but I
to this
can't get
document?
it. Okay, let me. Can we zoom on that a little bit? But no,
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
the best I
different.
can do. I think.
Okay, no, it's completely
In
fine.
particular, it says something about there's a particular you
I
do
see
control F flat.
1975.
Yeah, are you talking about this?
Matrix
I can make it a little bit.
Yes. What is
So
this about?
this isn't NASA. This is or this isn't the CIA.
No.
This is
Isn't it
NASA,
the CIA
right?
document?
This
Okay,
is
okay,
NASA.
now.
This is not CIA. The CIA doesn't do any of that kind of stuff. But
Okay.
importantly, this wasn't about anything being measured. This wasn't about anything, they found out that this was true. Rather, all they were doing was they were essentially laying out the process of how you would develop a simple simulation for an aircraft, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine, like, to run a simulation, you have to input certain parameters, and typically you want your simulation to be reasonably simple, but accurate enough that it tells you what you want it to tell you, what you want it to tell you. So, like, if I wanted to simulate let's say I wanted to simulate somebody skydiving, right?
Right.
I would have to give it some parameters about the kind of thing that I want it to simulate. Maybe I have to tell it the shape of the person falling, or maybe I have to tell it how high up the person started at, or how strong gravity is. I would have to tell it a whole bunch of different things. But the more things I tell it, like if I tell them that it's shaped like a person that's spinning, the more things I tell it, the more things I tell it, the more complicated the simulation gets to make, right?
Yeah.
And so all
Yeah.
they did in this particular NASA publication, which was done in the 80s, by the way, all they did is they used the assumptions that make the calculations easier without really spoiling what they wanted to get out of the simulation. That's all they're doing. So,
Okay.
and
It was just kind of like a
this is before we
simulation.
had super fast computers, right? This was in the late
Yeah.
80s. So they were making
Way
some
before
simplifying
technology.
assumptions just to make the math easier.
That's what I figured too. I was like, we've come a long way and there's a lot more technology that's been invented and innovated and evolved. Okay. This is the other thing because I don't want to take up a whole bunch of time. Um, my mom. Me and my mother, this is our biggest thing. She said in 1990, she took a flight to Japan and she remembers following the sun like down the horizon. Like I guess it was rising over there and it was night over here. And that's why she's like, I watched it. Like curve and go down. But with me, I'm like, even once it goes down, there's still, the bright far away, but the brightness, the pinks, the hues, and all that. And we believe that it's more like a spotlight, like the sun is going away to a different spot, and we don't see it anymore with the naked eye other than going down. My thing is there anything I could look up or any proven videos or anything where we can prove that it's going down the curve of the Earth and not just away to another region on Earth?
Well, yeah, I mean, so fortunately, we don't actually need to, like, we can just think about what it would look like. I mean, like, I'm sure you've seen things that get far away, and when they get far away, they get small, right? That's the important part. They don't like go down, but maintain roughly the same size and then disappear. They get smaller, right? Like, my fist
Yeah,
is getting smaller. It's not going like this. So when we see a sunset happen, let's use a water bottle, for example. When we see the sunset happen, what we see is, like, we see this, right? We don't see this.
Of course not, but I'm thinking on a bigger scale.
On any scale. On any, so if it was just getting further away, we would never stop seeing it. It would just get smaller and smaller.
I figure we would stop seeing it, just like, if my sister runs and runs and runs far away, it comes to a point where I can barely see her. And then when I did the whole little flashlight thing, I don't know if you've seen that one, but they do the whole flashlight and you have the paper come up and it goes away. It made sense to me.
I mean, the only thing that that I can really tell you is that consider the fact that you've never seen anything else. Like when your sister runs away, she doesn't get lower. She just gets smaller. You've never seen anything else get lower rather than getting smaller. But the sun does that.
True.
So you really have to ask, why is the sun uniquely doing that thing rather than getting smaller like you would expect it to?
Understood. True that. And now, if it is going down into other parts of the Earth, oh no, I was going to ask you something, but no, you're a glober. Okay, because I know you don't believe, you know what I'm saying, in the firmament. So I can't be like, well, wait.
Now,
okay.
Just as something, food for thought. Yes. So recently, about a month and a half ago, 4 flat earthers went to Antarctica on a private thing, not with the government. They were like on a private journey. 4 flat earthers went to Antarctica. As far as we can tell, at least one of them is not a flat earther anymore, because they saw the sun go around overhead and stay up for 24 hours. Now, if you can make sense of that on a flat earth, then you've done something that no flat earther has been able to do as of yet.
Wait, I'm confused. You're saying go around like I was saying, like a spotlight? Or what do you mean when you say going
So
around?
Imagine that instead of the sun rising in the east and setting in the west, it just goes around you over the course of 24 hours, but never you can see it the entire day.
But that sounds like a spotlight. See, that's where I start getting confused, because when I went to Alaska, it was starting to shift. Oh, it's at the bottom in Antarctica.
Right. But if it's so, I mean, look at this map above me, right? It's kind of cheeky, but they were on, say, one side of Antarctica, right? Like maybe over here. In order for the sun to be able to appear to them going around their head, it would have to go beyond Antarctica. And that means that there'd be places on the other side of Antarctica where it'd be dark. But there's nowhere in Antarctica where it's dark in December.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's like August in Alaska. And that's what kind of confused me as well, though, because I'm like, how does that prove the Earth is flat? That's why I went to Alaska.
It proves the Earth is a globe. It doesn't work on a flat Earth.
I mean, I'm sorry. How does it prove that the Earth is a globe if it's staying in Antarctica? I'm trying to wrap my head.
So the point is on a globe, the reason that happens is because the globe is tilted. It's tilted like this. And so the Earth is just rotating, but the part that's pointing towards the sun is pointing towards the sun for the entire rotation. And so sometimes it'll appear like it's south of you, sometimes it'll appear like it's north of you, sometimes it'll appear like it's east or west of you, because you're making a full rotation. But regardless, it'll always be above the horizon.
Okay, and then when the sun does leave Alaska or Antarctica, what does that mean for the globe?
Then what do you mean when it leaves? Do you mean like in September or whatever?
Yes, like when I went in September, it was starting to, get dark, and it's going to be dark until like, I don't know, April, or what is it?
Yeah.
I think,
till like February, March, yeah.
So that's what I was trying to figure out even when I was out there. Like when I went to Alaska, it was something that was everyone was just standing out on the street staring at the sky, and I was trying to figure it out. And my friend was like, they never get to see the leaves fall and the seasons change
Yeah.
because it's usually dark by
So
now.
so September, so August and September in like the very, very northern parts, like really March and April, and then August and September in the very, very like near the poles, is when you're going to get like normal days, but then the rest of the time you're going to get either just sun or just darkness. And so it actually it kind of checks out though, right? If the Earth is a sphere, then the North Pole and the South Pole are basically the same, just kind of opposites. So in the North Pole, you get a few months of day and a few months of night. On the South Pole, on a globe, you also get a few months of day and a few months of night, just in the opposite time. But on a flat Earth, the North Pole's the center and the South Pole is the edge. So then they shouldn't be the same. The North Pole should there's just no symmetry there. There's no reason to think that just because you get a few months of day and a few months of night in the North, that you would also get a few months of day and a few months of night on the edges. That it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, not both. Yeah, you're correct. And now I know you said that it's on a tilt and it's facing the sun. What is happening to the globe when we get a little bit of darkness in Antarctica?
Yeah, so that's just because so over the course of a year, so imagine that like this part of my hand is the South Pole, this part of my hand is the North Pole, and here's the sun. So the Earth goes around it like this. So the direction that it's pointing in never changes. But when the Earth is over here, the North Pole is facing the sun, and so you get sunlight in the northern hemisphere, and you get darkness in the southern hemisphere. When the Earth's over here, 6 months later, you get darkness in the northern hemisphere because it's pointing away from the sun, and you get light or daytime in the southern hemisphere.
Okay. And when it's okay, wait a minute though. You're saying when it's pointing. Are you saying what do you mean by pointing? When it's pointing towards the sun?
Yeah, let me show you a diagram.
I was gonna say, let me a little visual. I'm a visual.
Yeah. But, so let me see if I can find a good diagram.
And then you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't notice my video was on, and I was gonna put it on, and it's like, nah, I'm too ugly right now.
You're fine. All right. I think that this diagram will do. Here we go. Right.
Okay.
So, in June, the North Pole is pointing towards the direction of the sun. And so you can see that ring that goes around the North Pole, that's almost entirely lit up. But the ring that goes around the South Pole is almost in complete darkness. And when it rotates, it'll stay that way. But then on the other hand, in December, the North Pole is in complete darkness and the South Pole is in complete light. And it's rotating around that white stick. And so it'll stay that way, complete darkness in the North Pole, complete light in the South Pole, in the December solstice.
I see. Wow, yeah, the diagram is that helped.
Good. I'm glad.
I understand your reasoning. I definitely do. I'm just looking at the diagram. You know what? Oh, can I screenshot? I think I
go ahead.
Right? Sometimes there's security, but okay. Okay. And I learned from you last time. I just love knowledge. But like in this way where we're kind of sharing knowledge with each other, and we went through the hard work to get the degrees. And now, because I'm in college right now, and I'm like, oh, here we go with APA format and 7-page, and
Tell me about it.
So, right. I really appreciate this form of just getting knowledge. It feeds my soul. And thank you so very much.
Yeah, of course. Anything else you want to talk about, or you want to call it there?
You said, huh?
Anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to call it there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there, and I'm gonna talk to my mom. I'm gonna whip all this to my mom, but I'm just gonna leave it there and really try to fully understand, what you explained. And I got my diagram, and I just have a better, because those two things have been really gnawing at me, and that's what really, regardless of my faith, because it can't just be blind faith. So that's what really locked me in the flat earth. So I appreciate you explaining. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Understandable. All right. Well, thanks for being here. Have a good one. Okay.
Of course. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, let's bring up another guest. Okay, sorry, I just got a text message. We don't have any guests. Or maybe I should check the... Nope, we don't have any guests on YouTube either. So, if you guys are a flat earther and you disagree, if you think that you can prove to me that flat earth is actually alive and well, feel free to come up. That would be ideal. You know, look, I want to believe what's true. So if you can prove that the flat earth is true, that'd be world-shattering. I would start writing a paper today and win my Nobel Prize tomorrow. Because, you know, unlike most flat earthers who don't have ins into the academic circles of physics, right? I do. So they would believe me, right? So all you have to do is convince me, and I can convince the rest of the world. Yeah, I'd give them co-authorship, of course. Obviously. They would deserve it, right? Look, I don't even live in the United States. The CIA couldn't do anything about it. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Invade a sovereign country to get me? I would publish it on a preprint archive before they even knew it was coming. Yeah, they'd get half the prize money. Oh, let's bring up Son of Africa. Great. Hey, Son of Africa. How's it going?
What up? What up? What up? All good. All good.
It's been a while. What are you doing? What are you doing lately?
It's been a minute. Been busy with work.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been doing lives as well, flat Earth lives as well, but like every day. Like,
great. Do you have new evidence to give me? New proof?
right. Yeah. So new proof, new evidence. Yeah. So, look, I think you can't. I think the globe Earth violates the law of thermodynamics.
Which one? Because there's 3 of them, right?
Right, whereby you have heat goes to cold and high pressure goes to low pressure.
Which law of thermodynamics is that?
Could be the second law, entropy, if I'm not mistaken.
But you're right. The second law has to do with entropy. But it doesn't say anything about heat or pressure.
Yeah, but now how does heat and pressure work in the atmosphere?
Yeah, so I mean, like, depending on what altitude you're at, the atmosphere will have a different temperature profile. Pressure tends to decrease with altitude. What's the issue?
Yeah, it doesn't decrease with altitude. It decreases with density.
Wait, pressure does decrease with altitude. You've been to, like, somewhere at a high altitude before, right?
Right, yeah, but that's just because the air has less dense particles in it.
Well, and it's because the temperature decreases as well. So density, you're right. As the pressure decreases, the density decreases, but also the temperature influences it. If the density decreased, but the temperature increased by a lot, then you'd have higher pressure. So the fact that pressure lowers means that both the density and the temperature must decrease, or at least that they have to decrease. If either one of them increases, the other one has to decrease faster.
Oh, but there's 2 ways we can change pressure. But you look in the atmosphere. Well, science claims that the thermosphere has more heat than the troposphere. So
well, it doesn't have more heat.
High pressure.
It has a higher it has a higher temperature. Heat and temperature are not the same thing.
Right, yeah, but the temperature here is much less than the temperature in the atmosphere than
in the thermosphere. Yeah, but the thermosphere is also like 1 billion times less. Has 1 billion times like fewer particles per cubic meter. than it does at atmospheric pressure. So even if the temperature is like 10 or 20 times higher, the the amount of particles per cubic meter is so low the pressure is negligible.
Right, but still, even if you have a bottle, like, and then you have a balloon covered it with a balloon, and then you stick the bottle in a hot, like,
Wait, what's
hot
that word? You
medium.
stick your what?
You put the bottle covered with
the
the
bottle.
balloon,
Okay,
and
sure.
then and then put in a hot water or hot medium. The balloon would expand. Still, you haven't.
Yeah, it's because you're increasing the temperature. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So even if there's less particles in the thermosphere, exosphere, the pressure would increase because of temperature.
No, see, the pressure for a fixed volume, the pressure is proportional to both. It's proportional to the product of the number of particles and the temperature. So if the temperature doubles, but you decrease the number of particles by 2, the pressure doesn't change at all. The only reason why the balloon expands when you heat up a water bottle, when you heat up the bottle that it's attached to, is because the number of particles is staying the same, but you're increasing the temperature. But on the other hand, if you decrease the number of particles by like a factor of 1 billion, and you only increase the temperature by a factor of, 100, the pressure is still going to decrease by a factor of 10 million.
Right, yeah, but you can't measure that in the that's based
Why
on
not?
theory.
Why
You can't
wait,
measure that in the thermosphere, like,
Why
because
not?
you still
How do you
have
think they figured out the
particles, which is
temperature?
creating.
Wait, how do you think they
Yeah,
figured out the
because
temperature?
because we live in an enclosed system.
Wait, how do you think they figured out the temperature?
Yeah, because the gases, they don't escape to outer space.
How do you think they figured out the temperature?
Yeah, because like I'm saying, we live in an enclosed system.
No, I'm asking, how do you think they figured out what the temperature of the thermosphere is?
Now they measured it.
Okay, so if they can measure that, why can't they also measure the pressure and the number of particles?
Yeah, but you've just said, like, they measure the number of particles, but that's based on theory. We can test
What
this.
theory is it based on?
Like I brought up.
What
Like I
theory
brought
is
up.
it based on?
I brought up. Please, I brought up an example of a water bottle, and
Yeah.
agreed to that. That can happen.
Yep.
But what you stated later on is just a theory. But
Well, there's
like
nothing
we can
theoretical
do
about
this.
it. We can measure it. We can measure it. There's nothing theoretical about it.
You still right. You can measure it. You can measure
Yeah.
it, but still, temperature would increase pressure.
If nothing else changes, then yes, increasing temperature increases pressure. But if you increase temperature and also decrease the number of particles, then it's not that simple. Then it depends on how much you increase the temperature and how much you decrease the number of particles.
Oh, it is, because if you have another medium, which is you have ice, cold water right there, and then you switch it real quick, the pressure in the
Yeah.
bottle would
Son,
also decrease.
You're
so
missing the
quickly.
fact that the number of particles is not changing in the balloon. It's the same number of particles. So yes, when you hold the number of particles fixed, but you increase or decrease the temperature, the pressure will change. But if the temperature and the number of particles change at the same time, then it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you increase the temperature, you increase the pressure. Like imagine doing this same thing, but also poking a hole in the balloon so the particles can get out. Well, then it doesn't matter how much you heat it up; it will deflate.
That's how they measured. That's how they measured that the thermosphere is actually has much high temperature than the troposphere, because if outer space
the
existed,
troposphere, okay.
Yeah, if outer space existed, that would be like low pressure. Like low temperature
It is low pressure.
equal to low pressure as well.
Why would it? So low pressure does not always mean low temperature. Let me give you another example. There's so many examples of this. In all of the fusion reactors in the world, they are very low pressure and very high temperature. We make these in laboratories all the time. Very, very high pressure, like billions of degrees Fahrenheit, and then a billionth of the atmospheric pressure. right? Like we can do this.
Yeah, but
this is something that's done all the time.
yeah,
Just because it has a high temperature
right.
doesn't mean it's a high pressure.
Well, it is. There's two ways. There's two ways that you can change the pressure is by adding in more molecules or by changing in the temperature of the medium.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the,
And if you remove
right.
molecules, then the pressure decreases.
If you remove molecules and you heat up the medium, what will happen?
It depends on how many molecules you remove and how much you heat up the medium.
Oh my god!
Like.
Oh my god!
So,
Blitz.
son, did you ever learn about the ideal gas law?
It's whereby pressure is proportional to temperature and pressure is proportional to volume.
Pressure is inversely proportional to volume. It's proportional to pressure, and it's proportional to the number of particles.
It's
So
volume,
if you
Blitz.
increase
This is
temperature,
volume and temperature. It's volume and temperature, Blitz.
Okay, tell me what's the ideal gas law?
Yeah, but you speak it no.
Just tell me what the ideal gas law is.
We don't live in ideal gas law, Blitz.
We're
If you pick
talking
up
about
maybe
ideal
the
gases
Charles,
here. We're talking about ideal gases here.
okay, ideal gases, then you have to speak about the Charles gas law or the Gay-Lussac gas law or the Boyle's gas law.
We're
Not the
talking about
one,
ideal.
because
We're talking about so air at room temperature and at like low pressures, like atmospheric pressure or lower, is an ideal gas, right?
but we don't
it
live.
just
We
is
don't
an
live in
ideal
an
gas.
ideal gas.
Yeah,
We don't live in an ideal gas.
The atmosphere is
No.
basically an ideal gas. Yeah, it is.
No, well, we have Blitz. We have helium, hydrogen.
Yeah,
we have
it's still an
oxygen,
ideal gas.
nitrogen.
Still an ideal
not
gas.
Blitz,
It is.
and temperature. And if you introduce temperature, Blitz, the sun.
It is an ideal gas. Yeah.
Bro, what are you
It is.
on about, bro? No, bro.
So what's the ideal gas law? Can you tell me?
Not top of my head, but the way I know
Okay, so
it
I can
is
tell you.
for-
Let me tell you.
It's
It's PV, pressure times volume, is equal to N, the number of particles, times K, which is a constant, times the temperature. So there's four things. There's pressure, volume, number of particles, and temperature. So if you increase the temperature but decrease the number of particles, the pressure can stay the same. If you increase the temperature and increase the number of particles, the pressure will increase. If you decrease the temperature and decrease the number of particles, the pressure will decrease. If you increase and decrease one of them, the pressure might go up, it might go down, depending on how much you increase or decrease them by.
It speaks about constant. You spoke about constant. We don't have constant
I didn't say
temperature.
anything
We don't
about
have
constant.
Yeah, that's the ideal gas law. It speaks about constant, whereby the temperature is
didn't say
constant
anything
or
about
pressure is
constant.
constant.
I didn't say anything about constant. The ideal gas law applies
Yeah,
whether or
but
not those things are
that's the
constant or
ideal
not.
gas law. The ideal gas law is whereby the gases is constant.
No, it's not.
It doesn't change. It remains the same, bro.
The ideal gas law doesn't really care about the species of gas. As long as the pressure isn't too high, as long as the temperature isn't too high, the ideal gas law is true. That's why it's called a law.
Alright, cool. Alright, Blitz, thanks for having me out, bro. I'm gonna drop, man.
All right, take care, son. Take care.
You can.
All right, let's bring up another guest. Straight from the TikTok queue, let's go. By the way, y'all, remember to like the live. If you like what you see, if you want more of this, if you want more debates, if you want more, if you will, well, I don't want to say too much. Make sure to like the live, make sure to follow, make sure to click subscribe, all these lovely things. Globe Crusher, how's it going?
Good. Hold on a second here. Let me just
You here to
change
crush some
my,
globe?
Well, yeah, you and your fake science shit.
Okay,
You're grifter, right?
okay.
You don't know
Sure.
gas pressure?
What's the ideal gas law?
I don't give a shit about the ideal gas
Okay,
law.
so
Do you know
why-
about
so-
entropy and how
I
gas
do. What's the
works
second?
in the
What's the
atmosphere?
second law? What's the second law of thermodynamics?
So big box me. Here's Noah explaining air
I'm sorry,
pressure.
what's the second
that
law
all
of-
particles move
sorry,
in
what's the
random
second law of
directions,
thermodynamics?
right?
What's the second law of
Are you
thermodynamics?
scared? Are
Can
you
you tell me what the
scared?
second law of thermodynamics is?
Are you scared? Entropy, bud.
Can you tell me what the second law of thermodynamics
You
is?
tell me what holds the gas pressure. Gas
Gravity.
particles push against the walls of its
Gravity.
container.
So,
Says
so
the Noah article. This
Globe.
is Science Blitz. Big
Globe,
box
what's
me
the
and let
second?
me show
What's
the
the second
room.
law? Not
Are
until
you
you answer my
afraid?
question. Not until you answer my
Are
question.
you afraid?
Not until you answer my question.
I've already explained entropy to you, right, Blitz?
What's the second law of
You don't know
thermodynamics?
science. You're a grifter.
What's the
Should
second
I
law of
play the
thermodynamics?
video where you said you get paid to do this?
What's the second law
Right?
of thermodynamics?
Do you get paid to do this, Blitz?
By people who give me money.
Don't
Like,
be fucking
guests.
disingenuous. You want to have a debate? I have some evidence
Yeah,
here that
answer
I'd
my
like
question.
to show the room.
Answer my
So
question
do it.
first. Answer
So
my
put
question
me
first,
up.
and then I will
told you
absolutely
entropy.
give you that.
It
No, no,
seeks fucking
w-
equilibrium, right?
I want
Does
you
gas
to tell me
pressure
what the
seek
second law of
equilibrium?
thermodynamics is. Yeah,
Don't
tell
cry,
me, tell
buddy.
me what the second
Here's
law of
the
thermodynamics is,
science.
please.
Here's the
Wait,
science.
Globe, are you this embarrassed that you
Well,
that you
why
don't know
are
the
you
second law of
crying?
thermodynamics?
Why are you deflecting?
It
Why
just
don't
sounds
you
like you're
equal?
crashing out.
Put us side by side in a box, Blitz.
It just sounds like you're
Are
crashing
you
out. bud.
afraid? Are you afraid, Blitz?
I'm less afraid
Why
of
are
you
you
than I
afraid
am of
of
a
the
fifth
science
grader.
that's on my screen?
Look, I just want you to
Because
answer
you
the
know
question, and
I
then I'll
make
give
you
I will
guys
give you the
embarrassed
box.
every
I will
time.
give you the big box. You just have to first answer my question.
I don't fucking give a fuck.
Oh, it sounds like you're
Here's the
afraid.
science. We're talking about gas pressure.
Sounds
You
like
wanted
you're
to
afraid.
na-na, son of Africa. So I
Mhm.
came here 15 minutes ago to clarify it for you.
Yeah, so
and
what's
you're
the ideal
afraid.
gas law? What's the second law
Are
of
you
thermodynamics?
afraid? Are you afraid? Which gas law is affected by gravity?
You can
Well,
just use you could use like
What
any of
gas
them,
law is
really.
affected by gravity?
You could use any of them.
Well, here it says, this says air pressure, the atoms and molecules that make up the various layers of the atmosphere are constantly moving in what? Random directions.
Yeah,
Gases
they're also
move in
affected by
random
gravity.
directions.
Yes.
When you fart, it fills the room, doesn't it? Dum-dum. I'm going to educate
Yeah, so what's the
you
second
with
law of
science.
thermodynamics?
You
What's the second law
grifting
of
shill.
thermodynamics? Globe
Don't
crusher, what's
stop
the second
crying
law
and
of thermodynamics?
deflecting.
Look,
The
I've asked you
second
one
law of
question. You haven't answered a
thermodynamics
single
will
one.
defeat space. Should we go
Wait,
there,
wait,
Blitz?
do you know what the second law of thermodynamics is?
Do
this
you
is like
know?
a really easy question.
Do you know why I fucking crush every one of you that comes by?
I don't think you
you?
could crush an ant.
Really?
Really? Well, maybe you could. I don't know.
I still don't know how you.
I'm gonna have to turn off your video, by the way, because like if you
So
play
you
YouTube
know
videos,
this,
it'll ban
right?
me. Sorry?
So you're afraid, Blitz, of science?
You cannot play YouTube videos on TikTok. I will get banned. It's happened before.
You're afraid.
You can just tell me, or you can
I
show
tried
me
to
a,
get. I
or
tried to
can
show
me a
you
webpage.
science, but
That's
you're
fine,
afraid,
too.
Blitz. You're
Why
an
can't you
embarrassment to the
answer a single
scientific
question?
community. You're
Why
a
can't you answer a single
grifter, an
question?
admitted grifter.
I'm an
Why do
admitted
you
grifter.
not let me
Oh,
show
okay.
you the science from Noah?
I'm an admitted grifter. That's new.
Yes, you admit it.
What
You
did I
want me to
admit?
play that video?
Fred, what
it's
did I
not a
admit?
YouTube video
What did I admit?
where you admitted being paid to science online. What you're
Yeah,
doing
by-
right now, you're
by
paid
people
by
that
a
are
government
watching.
grant.
I have a grant.
You
that
admitted you're
I
paid
do-
by a government grant.
So,
Did you
Fred,
not?
Fred, that's
Are
that's,
you
that's what
paid
covers
by
my
a
day
government
job.
grant?
That's what covers my
Stop
day job.
deflecting, princess. Stop deflecting.
The crash out is so
You
funny.
fucking little princess. Stop
So,
deflecting.
it seems
Stop
like you
running
don't understand
away.
how scientific grants
Stop
work.
running away. You wanted a
It
debate.
seems
Did
like
you not
don't
want a
understand
debate?
how scientific grants work. So my day job is paid for by a grant that I applied for and earned. Right? That's how I make my day job money. And as part of that grant, I included in it that I do science communication online. Now that's videos. What we're doing right now, not science communication. This is blood sports, and you're getting bloodied. You can unmute yourself, by the way. Oh, he's probably still yelling, isn't he?
Oh, you want to mute me?
Yeah, I did.
Why are you
'cause I needed to
subscribing
clarify.
to your channel $7?
It's
Because you're a
not.
grifter.
I think it's
Why
supposed to
isn't
be
it
like
the base rate?
$4.
It is right now. If
I
I,
don't think I
fucking do it, it's
don't
more
think I
than
changed.
$7.
I don't think I changed it.
Oh yeah, you did. Because it's not the base unit. Because you're a
Well,
grifter.
let me go check. Because I didn't change anything, so it could be that it locked in from
Oh,
from,
it's
like, an old price.
accidentally. It's Dig Dog.
No, I don't think I changed anything. So I can show you my phone.
You fucking
Right.
did. It's not the base rate, is it? $7.19.
Yeah, it just says standard.
$7.99 a month.
I don't know if you can see this.
No.
It says standard.
Now, if you hold it still, yeah. I
See,
just did
standard.
it. I saw it. It's
standard.
$7.19 for me.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just what the default is. It says standard.
It's not the default.
It's the default
That's
in the
not
country
the
that I live
default.
in. I don't know what to tell you, bud. It says standard.
It's not $8 a month, buddy. Nice
it's literally
try.
standard, but okay.
Nobody
look,
cares
if
what you
you're
fucking
this
commenters are
upset about it,
I'm
Brad,
just trying to
then-
embarrass Blitz, and he's
Oh,
making
well,
a fool of
You're not
himself.
doing a very good job of it.
You're not I am. You won't
I mean,
let me out of the
considering
box.
everybody's
you
laughing
mute
at
the
you,
camera,
like, I don't
and
know,
you turn
man.
off the mic. You're
Gandalfus-
a disingenuous
Gandalfus,
grifter.
thank you for the $2.
When
I
called
appreciate you.
out, you won't do anything. Put me in the big box, and I'll show
Fred,
you
have-
science.
Fred, I hope you're more
you
right
crying?
about things in
You're
your
just
real
crying.
life than you do on here.
You're crying, Blitz. There comes the attacks because you can't defeat me with science. There it is. I fucking love that. I'm gonna screenshot that. That's awesome. Look. That's awesome, bud.
You having a
You're
good time,
making
Fred?
tears. So you don't have anything, right? Is that it?
Well, I mean, you wouldn't even
You don't
answer
have
a
any
question,
real
so
science.
I don't know if you actually
want
want
an
to talk.
actual debate, right? You don't want an actual debate. You want to keep somebody down in the box, turn on the mic, turn off the camera, right? So
Well,
when
I
I
turned
had
off your video
evidence,
because
I
I didn't
showed
want to get
you,
banned.
You turned off the camera. Did you turn off the
Fred.
camera, Blitz?
Yeah, I didn't want to get banned because you were showing a YouTube video.
No, I was showing
So,
you.
Fred, you're
'cause I
embarrassing
trust
your-
you in
you're
any way,
embarrassing your-
aspect. I give you science. You blocked
You're
turn the camera.
embarrassing yourself so hard that people are calling you a paid actor. You're making Flat Earth look stupid, Fred.
There
You're gonna
you
mute
are
yourself.
muting me again.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you
tried
wouldn't
to
let me
show
get a
you
sentence
Noah
out.
science, and you grifted. You
Well,
muted
look,
me
I'm not
because I tried to
convinced that
show
can
you
understand
science.
a Noah
If you
webpage.
want to fucking debate and you want to don't be an embarrassed cupcake right now, let me in the box.
Look, all you have to do
You
is answer a
fucking
very
try
simple
it.
question. If you
You're
can also say I
scared,
don't know.
Blitz.
If you want to say
You're
I don't
scared.
know, I will
Yes,
still
you
let you
don't
into the
know.
big box.
You're afraid.
So
Admit you're
hold on. Let me
afraid.
turn up my mic.
Admit you're afraid. I'll take the screenshot and we'll have
Sorry,
it.
one moment. Let's just adjust. There we go. Or no, that was too loud. There we go. So look.
Yeah, get your
you can-
recording on.
Sorry?
Are
What'd you
you
say?
going to have a debate or you just want to present your bullshit?
Well, look, I'm happy for you to just answer the question. Even if you don't know, you can say
I don't want to
I don't
answer the
know.
question. I don't listen.
I know. I know you
Questions.
don't.
If
I
I
know you
talk,
don't.
that's just an opinion, right? And you can go
I just
none.
want you to
So I
demonstrate
tried
any
to show
sort of
you the
understanding.
science that you clearly don't understand from
Yeah, so-
Noah.
so all you have to do,
measures
Fred-
the atmospheric pressure in the water, right?
Fred, all
so
you gotta
don't.
do-
They tell you how
all
the
you got- wait.
atmosphere works, but you want to grift and stop me from presenting that.
Fred, did you
right?
just say they measure the atmospheric pressure in the water?
Holy fuck. I said they measure atmosphere and water pressure, you dipshit. Learn what Noah is, you scientifically illiterate moron.
So
I
so,
said,
look,
Noah,
all you
what
have
does
to do.
Noah do, you
Oh, wait, why can't they
stupid
hear you?
asshole?
So for
What
some
does
reason they
Noah
can't hear you
do?
anymore. Oh, sorry, they couldn't hear you. So
What does Noah
I'll-
do?
They study the oceans.
What is
and
Noah?
I guess atmosphere, National
The
Organization
oceans
of
and the
Oceans and
atmosphere?
Atmosphere. I guess. Yeah. I was just making
Yeah,
fun of you
you
because you were
guess.
misspeaking.
You guess.
So
Seriously, you guess?
Fred.
So that information that I wanted to send you and show you that Noah says about the atmosphere, you want
there
to
lag?
guess about.
Is there
that
lag, by
what
the
you're
way?
saying?
TikTok chat, is there lag?
No, it's you fucking grifting.
I'm sure. Okay, no, it seems fine.
So
Fred, so
here's
so,
Noah.
I'm
you
sure.
gonna let me present the evidence? You're gonna put me in the
Yeah,
big
you
box?
just have to answer
Or you gonna
one
cry?
question. You have to answer one question, and then I'll let you present the evidence.
No.
Wait,
I'm
you don't know how
not
to
need to
answer?
answer
No?
your questions.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm going to give you the evidence.
Marduk, thank you for the
right?
$5. I appreciate you. Yeah, so,
Why are
so
you
all
crying?
you gotta do, answer one
All you
question.
gotta
I'll let
do
you
is
have the
send
big
your
bucks.
coins to Globe Crusher, because this guy's a shill.
Bro is begging for
You're
money.
embarrassed.
What a
You're
cringe
embarrassed.
lord.
Put me in the fucking box so I
All
can
you
give you
gotta do-
evidence.
All you gotta
but
do is
you want
answer
to
one
counter with
question.
questions.
Just one question, my guy.
No,
One question.
grifter. No,
What,
grifter.
are you so afraid
Is
that you
this
can't
Noah?
answer one
Is
question?
this government?
Are
is
you
this
so
government?
afraid you can't answer
Is
one
this
question?
government?
Wait a minute. Hold on, Fred.
Why do you want
are
to
you
deflect
Canadian?
from the topic?
Wait, Fred, are you Canadian?
Why do you want to deflect from the topic, Blitz?
Wait, Fred, are you Canadian? Oh my God, are
Why?
you Canadian?
Why are you
You know
deflecting
that the
from the
default
topic?
rate for subscriptions
Why
is
are you
$5
deflecting
USD,
from the topic?
and it's and the Canadian dollar
Why
is
are
weaker.
you deflecting, Blitz? Why are you deflecting?
Oh, that's so funny.
Why are you deflecting, you fucking gay ass
Tim Bimbadil,
princess?
thank you for the
Trans
$2.
fucking
Darth Dawkins,
motherfucker.
flat
What are you
Earth
doing
cousin.
to your kids?
I don't
Piece
have
of
kids.
shit.
I don't have kids, thanks.
Yeah.
Seven,
What are you
thank
doing?
for the 2 pairs of sunglasses.
Where is the evidence?
What?
Why do you not let me present any evidence? You grifting piece of crap. You're a grifting piece of shit. You won't
Fred,
let me present
do you know
any
what a
evidence.
lolcow is? Do you know what a lolcow
Lolcow
is?
is you fucking loser. You are embarrassment to humanity, bud.
I'm sure, Fred.
Yeah, you don't know what fucking pronouns are, probably. Right? You're just an embarrassment. You're
Fred, can you
grifting,
tell me what a
and
pronoun
you know
is,
I
please?
will crush you if you put me in the big box.
Wait,
right?
if you can answer
You
one of these
fucking
two
little
questions.
Crybaby. Admit you're a
Either
crybaby.
what's the second law of thermodynamics, or B,
crybaby.
what is a pronoun?
Add.
Wait,
me
can you
into
answer?
the
Can
big
you answer
box
either
and
of those
I'll embarrass
questions?
You.
Can you answer either
You
of those
just want
questions?
to ask questions when you know I'm going to school you. I fucking
One of
love
them you
guys
learned in
grifting
3rd
this
grade.
clown.
Koala, thank you for the galaxy. I love you a lot.
You're in 3rd grade, Blitz. You're chasing little 3rd graders because that's the kind of man you are.
I'm sure. Look
Fred.
at
You.
Projection is cool,
Look
though.
at you. There's nothing fucking alpha in your face. Not at all. You're a
Bro, my jaw could break
That's a
your skull.
bitch. What the fuck? Who told you that? You're a fucking look like a bitch. You look like a girl, buddy. If you think that's the only alpha you have, that's astonishing. You're a fucking princess in every aspect. You probably have to fucking draw the hair on your mustache every morning. So it looks like you have 5 o'clock shadow, because you probably take hormones, right, Blitz? You wear a dress at night?
You're crashing
Do you
out
sleep
so
in
hard.
panties?
This is so embarrassing for you. Oh my god.
It's not embarrassing for me. I'm cooking you and my fucking friends are watching.
I'm sure you don't think it's embarrassing for you, but everybody else is
it's
horribly
embarrassing
embarrassed
for
by
you,
you.
Blitz. You couldn't answer a single fucking thing.
You know
right?
what's great about this,
Right,
Fred?
Blitz?
You know what's great about this, Fred?
Not a single fucking
Because you're
thing.
crashing out so hard. People are
Because
giving me
you're
money
crashing
because
out.
they love this
I'm
stuff.
crashing
They
out?
love this stuff. Yeah, you're
I
crashing out
told
really
you.
hard.
Yeah, that's your wish.
Like this is
You
this is what
wish.
people want. People
The
want to
gifts
see an
hide
idiot
your
crash out
fucking
online.
goofy face. You cry baby. All you did was mute, block,
You should read the chat.
and keep me down in the box. You
You
don't
should
want
read
to
the
have
chat.
a discussion. You just want to think you can school somebody with very little knowledge of science. Look at, he had to check his mustache.
Oh, then why are you here?
Well, fuck, that's fucking funny shit. It's not there, Blitz, trust me. There isn't one there, you little princess. Fuck, I'm laughing.
I'm sure you are,
sick.
Globe Crusher. I'm
Fucking
sure you
little
are.
cupcake
Hey, you want to
princess.
turn your camera around and show us your cue ball? Marduk, thank you for the $2 for the crash
No, I
out.
want to show you evidence that you're a clown.
I'm sure.
And a grifter.
I'm sure.
But you won't let me, will you, Blitz?
Bro lost his hair when he was 25 and he's embarrassed. It's okay.
Oh, you can't. You're crying. You're crying. There comes the
Megamind? Oh, that's so funny.
Right, Blitz?
Look, I'm actually, you know what? It's not a big deal if you lost your hair.
princess.
That's okay.
I own you.
Losing your hair, totally normal. Totally normal
admit
thing
I
for a
own
man
you,
your age.
Blitz. You're just crying.
Sorry?
You're fucking doing nothing but crying, Blitz.
I mean, I'm good. I'm having the time of my life.
You got
People are loving this.
bud.
People are sending
What are you
money
talking
because
about?
they want to
I'm
see you
good.
crash out. Like,
You
Marduk
think
just
you're
sent
good.
$2.
I'm telling
Charlie
you
just
look
sent
like a bitch.
$10. Too much
You're a
Vimto just sent £2.
crybaby, Blitz.
People love
You
it.
couldn't counter any
These
evidence.
clips are-
so
this
you
clip
wouldn't
is
let
gonna
me
be
present
great.
anything because you
crash
know
out is
I will
legit.
science the fuck out of you and make you look like a princess.
I'm sure
no,
you will.
wait, I did
I'm
that
sure you
already.
will. Honestly,
right?
people, I should be paying you for this. I should be paying you for
You
this
should.
because
you
I'm
are
making so much
paid
money
for
at
it,
your
you
expense.
Princess. You've admitted it,
This is so funny.
right? You've admitted it.
I'm sorry, what?
You've admitted being paid for this.
Well, I mean,
Right?
the people who are watching have paid me for this quite a
No,
lot by now,
no,
actually,
you're
because
paid
of you.
by the government, right?
Oh, no, the government doesn't pay me for this.
You said you are.
No,
You've
no, I have a
admitted
grant for
this,
science
Blitz.
communication. Do you know what science
You've
communication is?
admitted this.
Do you know what
Paid
science
by a
communication
government
is?
grant, and as part of that, you're to
Do you know what
science
science
communicate
communication?
online.
Yeah, this
which
isn't
is
science
this is what you're
communication,
doing.
idiot.
You're paid
You
to
think
do this very
is science
thing, Blitz.
communication? This is a guilty
Right?
pleasure, my dude.
It's not your guilty pleasure. Your
It
guilty
literally
pleasure
is.
is dipping your dick in shit. I know what you guys are
What?
like. You heard me.
What?
You heard me. You can fucking clip shot that for you, right?
Oh, my cheeks are sore from laughing so much.
Because that's probably from having testicles in your face at night.
All right. We should probably be done here before I get banned. But thanks for boosting me up to 800 viewers, Globe Crusher. You fucking lol cow. Mahalia, thank you for the $2. That was so funny. All right, let's bring up a special guest. Hello.
Hello. As the real-life human brother of Dr. Blitz, with authentic human kidneys and emotions, my ability to understand concepts is limited by having a squishy organic brain. However, even with my minuscule but typical human cognitive capacity, there are certain concepts that are easy for me to understand, even if they are difficult for certain individuals that I won't name. One of these concepts is why you should support the live on TikTok and YouTube. Hosting these lives is not his day job. He does this because he enjoys it, and receiving support from those watching is positive feedback that is likely to increase his enjoyment. If you wish to be a source of this positive feedback, supporting the live is the logical course of action. You can show your support by subscribing, sending gifts using Cash App or other options like Buy Me a Coffee listed on the link tree in his bio. If you aren't able to subscribe right now, you can show your support by following the channel, liking the live, leaving comments, and sharing the live and his videos with others. Also, you can join his Discord through the link on the link tree in his bio to become a part of the community and receive notifications when he plans to go live. By joining, you can participate by suggesting new video topics and joke about certain guests crashing out. I hope that I was able to use my extremely limited human abilities to persuade more of you to support the live. With that in mind, have a great rest of your day and, again, support the live.
Let's go back to our scheduled content. And for everybody thinking that he's not a real human person, he's obviously a real human person. Duh, he has kidneys, real kidneys, that he definitely owns and belong to him. Absolutely a real person. Spade, how's it going? Spade, you there? Spade? Alright, looks like Spade's not here. Let's bring up another guest. Let's bring up Matthew. Matthew, how's it going?
Hello.
Hey Matthew, are you a flat earther?
No, I just think you're idiotic for even debating flat Earth, and
That's what we call tone policing, and you can leave. Look, I love me a good crash out. Steezy. Oh, Steezy disconnected. Let's talk. Oh, Globe Crusher's back in the guest. Oh, by the way, we got a few gifts. Jeremy, thank you for the $5 on Buy Me a Coffee, and Econo for the $5 on Cash App. Much appreciated from both of y'all. All right, let's bring up Flohar. Flohar, how's it going? What? Oh, Predicta, I'm sorry. Wrong person. Predicta, can you hear me? All right. Lots of people just showing up and disconnecting. Let's talk to Allison P. We need Eric Cartman back. I don't know. Maybe we'll give him like half an hour to cool off, and then maybe you can answer the question. Allison, how's it going?
Hi, Dr. Blitz. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
So I'll answer that in just a minute, okay?
That has to be the first question that you answer, unfortunately.
Well, answer me one. Are you going to drop me, or are we going to talk?
Only we can talk only if you're a flat earther.
I am a flat earther.
Then sure, I'm happy to talk with you. Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you very much for answering my question.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you going to mute me when I come up against you?
No.
You're
The only
not?
time I mute people is if they don't let me get a sentence out.
Oh, So if I challenge you, then you're gonna mute me.
No, you have to, like, if you want to have a conversation, we have to have a back and forth. Like, you say something, I say something. But if you just never let me say something, then I have to mute you so I can say something. That's understandable, right?
Okay. So answer me this.
Sure.
Do you believe in a creator or the
I
Big
don't.
Bang?
I
You
don't believe in a creator,
believe
no.
in a creator.
I do not.
Okay, so you magically think all your organs just work without someone putting them specifically in place to do a job.
Well, I don't think it's magic. But by the way, Ben Yehudis, thank you for the $5 and buy me a coffee for an enchilada. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Yeah.
bro.
So
Hold
sorry,
on.
I got to do that. But anyway, yeah, I don't think it's magic.
you don't
I think
have
that
to
evolution is a real thing.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah,
came from a
evolution's a real
damn
thing.
monkey. You came
Well-
from a monkey.
I came from my parents.
Well, you just said evolution was a real thing. So
Right, my
what
parents
did we
weren't
evolve
weren't
from?
monkeys. So
Well, what
we
did we
evolved from our
evolve from?
ancestors. Everything evolves from its ancestors.
Okay, who's your ancestors?
Well,
'Cause isn't that
I'm not going
where
to tell you their
normally-
names.
Don't they normally say evolution? We evolved from fucking monkeys?
No. Monkeys are a separate thing. We have a common ancestor with monkeys. Right? So in the same way that, like, I'm not the
So
same.
that would be saying that we evolved from that monkeys are in our DNA, correct? You just said we have a common.
Allison, maybe I can explain this. So you know, do you have cousins?
Hey, Dr. Blitz, tell your people to get off my ass in the chat.
Look, I'm not going to control the chat. You don't have to read it though.
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm trying to have a intelligent conversation with you, and I'm being respectful of
that.
you. So I really would like to know how you think because you said monkeys were connected.
Yep.
You're okay with being connected to a monkey?
Well, look, Allison, I'm connected to my cousins too. My cousins aren't the same thing as me, but we share a common ancestor. Monkeys are just cousins that are much, much more distantly related.
But you're saying you're related to monkeys.
Yeah, so are you. So is everyone.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
How do you know?
Because I was fearfully and wonderfully made by a creator.
You mean your parents?
My parents played a role in my creation.
So, how do you think that we figure out whether or not, like if we're trying to figure out, if we're trying to do a paternity test, what do we do to figure out if two people are related?
We check our blood. We check our DNA.
DNA. It's exactly that we used. We didn't have paternity tests before DNA, right? And can you do a DNA test on monkeys and compare it to humans?
I'm not comparing my DNA to monkeys because I didn't come from monkeys.
Well, you don't have to, but scientists have, and our DNA is very similar. And in the same way that you can figure out if two people are related by checking if their DNA is similar, we can figure out if two species are related by checking if their DNAs are similar. And it turns out that human DNA is very similar to that of chimpanzee DNA. So similar, in fact, that they only differ by like 1 or 2%.
So you scratch your ass with one hand and then eat your food out of it with the same hand.
No, I didn't. But that's cool, I guess.
I mean, I'm being serious because I've watched monkeys at zoos sit there and play with themselves and then put their hand in their mouth.
Yeah, I'm sure. So
I mean,
look,
I'm being literal. I'm not being funny.
I understand,
I have watched
Allison.
monkeys do this.
So Allison, you know how all humans are related to other humans?
That?
You know how all humans are related to other humans? Like we're all distant cousins or whatever?
Bro, you're still asking me the same question. I'm asking you different questions.
No, I
dealing
don't
with
do
monkeys.
that. So can you? Of course I don't do that. Can you answer my question?
What was your question?
Do you think that all humans are distantly related to each other?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and yet
I sure do.
there are humans.
Because we all came from the same. We all came from
Sure.
two people.
Sure. There are humans who are like the
Okay, hold
least.
on. So you're
please.
admitting that
I'm
we
so
came
close.
from two
I almost
people.
finished a sentence. There are humans who are like the least intelligent people on the
I
planet.
heard you finish a law.
There are people who are the least intelligent people on the planet, and there are people who are the most intelligent people on the planet, and they're still related to each other. Just because we're related to chimpanzees doesn't mean that we're the same as them.
You're very comical, bro.
Well, I mean, if you think that's a
Because
joke, then you
by
should probably go to a
denying-
comedy house.
By denying, listen, by denying a creator, you're condemning yourself to hell.
Are you Hindu by chance?
No, I'm not Hindu.
Oh, well, Hindu hell's pretty bad. You sure you want to avoid?
What?
Like, I'd rather go to Christian hell than Hindu hell. So it's probably a better idea to be Hindu. If that's what you're worried about.
Well, I'd rather not go to hell, period, brother.
Well,
I'd rather
yeah.
not be in hell,
Yeah,
period.
but how do you know Hinduism isn't true? And because if Hinduism's true, you're going to Hindu hell.
I don't know Hindu. Hey, who's to say that the Hindu God and my God are not the same person?
They're not
and
the
they
same
just
thing.
go by a different name in a different culture.
They're not. They're not. They're definitely not.
You don't know that.
I do
We
know
don't
that.
know that.
I do.
You do? You met
Yes,
him
I do.
personally?
What if I said yes?
You met him personally?
What if I said yes?
You be lying.
How do you know?
You met him personally, face to face. Answer
Yeah, what
my
if I said
question.
yes?
Don't tell me. I'm obviously not educated enough for this.
Why would you say that?
Because you got people in your chat, your little followers, saying that.
Look, I'm not telling them to say anything. If the chat bothers you, you can hide the chat.
Well, I'm just telling you. They want to attack me. Tell them to get up here on panel and let's go.
I only ever bring on one. I only ever bring on opposition. I never bring on friends.
Why do you only bring on opposition? Like, do you
To
get
keep it
off
fair.
on trying to... Do
keep
you
it fair.
try to deflate people in their beliefs?
When their beliefs are wrong and bad, yes.
Well, what gives you the authority to say that their beliefs are wrong and bad? I mean, be serious. What gives you that authority?
So I am an authority as far as physics is concerned, and physics is the study of the natural world, at least study of motion and matter. So as far as being an authority on the shape of the Earth, in some sense, yes, I am an authority on that.
Oh. Well, do you have common sense?
Yeah, it's probably not as common as you might think, but yes, of course. So why don't you tell me why you think the Earth is flat?
Okay. Would you? Many reasons.
Want to give me one?
Well, does a globe have 4 corners?
No. Does your flat Earth have 4 corners?
Yes.
Where are the corners?
Don't know.
So why do you think
But
that
a
they
plane?
exist?
It's called faith, brother.
Is that how you like? Do you move throughout your life that way? Just like you don't think at
I
all.
sure
You just
do.
like you just close your eyes, close your ears, and you just listen to what your preacher says.
Nope, because I don't even go to church. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
Okay, so even worse. You close your eyes, close your ears, and you just do what the Bible
Can't
says, and you don't pay attention
can't
to the
hear
outside
you.
world at all. You can't hear me.
Nope.
Why don't you, okay, well, why not put your faith in me? I'm more
Yeah,
reliable
you're
than your
going
book.
in and out.
That might be on your
going
end.
in and
My
out.
audio, it says my audio is being fine,
I
so
don't
it might
read
be on your
just
end.
one book.
Oh, which book do you read? Which books do you read?
Lots of books, brother.
Can you name one?
Can I name one? Are you
Yeah.
trying to make fun of me? You think
Well,
I
you
don't know
said
how to
lots.
read? You think I'm illiterate?
No, I just think that
I
I
do
think that
read
you
one.
primarily read one book, which is the Bible.
Not necessarily.
Okay. What was the last book that you read?
What was the last book I read? There's 66 books I like to read.
Okay, yeah, you know that the Bible counts as one book. Come on. You know what I mean.
No, it's 66 books written
So when you
separately.
say you read a lot of books, you just mean the Bible, right?
No. I like to
What
read
oth-
fiction, nonfiction, all different
Okay.
types
What
of
was the last book that you
literature.
read?
I think it ends with us. That was a good one. You should read that.
Okay,
Colleen
cool.
Hoover.
Haven't read
It
it.
ends with us. Read that. It's got a little sexy turn in it.
I don't really read fiction, but no, okay, cool. So
well, maybe you should. Maybe it would loosen your tight-wadded underwear up out your ass.
I wear boxer briefs, so they're very comfy.
Oh, well, they make those tight too, tight-fitting and around your legs.
They're very comfy, thank you.
You're
I don't
a
need
waste of
advice
time.
on my underwear. It's good. Yeah, so like, oh, she left. That's sad. Sad for all of us. Remember, y'all, to like the live. If we get up to 100K, which we're real damn close to 100K. If we get there, then I'll put my hair down. All right, Matthew, you're a flat earther now? You weren't a flat earther before. Matthew,
No,
long
it
time.
wasn't.
Are you a
Yeah,
flat earther
hey,
now?
how's it been? Yeah, man.
I've been okay.
That's good. I think there is a bit of delay. Yeah. I went to the other side, found God, feel amazing, you know.
That's a bummer. All right,
Yeah, well,
what
it's not
convinced
like you guys were too welcoming.
Gandalfus, thank you for the $2. So, what convinced you?
Well, it was just that, like, okay, so we all know that the system that we live in is very controlled and run by an oligarchy. Would you agree with that or disagree with that?
Depends on where you live, I guess. In the U.S., yeah, yeah, definitely.
No, this is an international problem. I've like,
I
do
know.
you
I
have
think that there are more free places and less free places, right?
Okay, well, let's specify Western world because that can encase a lot of areas. But we're like, I don't know. I started doing a lot of research and found this thing called the Magna Carta.
Sure.
Have you-
Yeah,
have
it
you
was like
read
what
it?
1,000 years ago or something. It was the
Yeah.
document. Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, King John. I was just blown away by that.
Mhm.
It just so happens that like Donald Trump, Camilla, RFK, they're all
Hold
related
on.
to
You
King
can say her name, right? Can't you?
Kamala. No, I can't. I've got blocks with words.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, you did great.
Apologize.
You did great the second time around.
I tried. I really do try. So sorry it offends people. So yeah, then I went in. So I just started looking into genealogies and looking at a lot of the things that the world is run by, and realized that a lot of these problems would actually be solved if a lot more people believed in God.
How would that solve any of our problems?
Because it would have people give faith into something that's positive and good.
Well, it turns out that the people who are currently running the oligarchy in the United States, those are people that believe in God, and it doesn't seem to be working that well.
Right. I can see where you get that. But
So, why would I think that more of that would be good?
Well, I actually think that they aren't. I think that they're acting like they're pro-God and they're actually Satanists.
Okay, well, that's a cool assertion, but I don't know why I should believe that.
I know it's just when you go looking at things, like when you find out that they're all related and that they're using something as great as religion to try to manipulate and coerce the population into believing everything they say, then that's sort of where I start seeing red flags.
Well, I mean, me too. But I see red flags because they're trying to push a religion on us, not because
I don't see it as
they're
that.
trying to like sell us on something that's like some big nefarious conspiracy. No, they just want to have a Christian nationalist state.
Right. So, you see, I don't see it as that. I think that they're just utilizing the people who are already religious and manipulating them, because all they have to do is, and this is a worldwide issue too, that a lot of politicians and political leaders use words when it comes to their gods, no matter where they are, and then their people support them. So
are you saying that the Christians in the West are so stupid that they're getting duped? Because atheists and people who are not Christian overwhelmingly don't vote for conservatives.
Right, and I would not say that, and I don't actually like to be mean and rude with individuals if they are lacking intelligence, because ignorance is bliss. Or blitz. Ignorance is blitz. There we go.
There you go. I think that Babs, what was our wedding? Was it no, it was wedded blitz, right? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so but none of this has anything to do with the shape of the earth. So tell me what this has to do with the earth.
No. Well, it's just that there's too many holes in what that we believe is, like, again, the whole system is controlled and operated by the same people. So if they're wanting to control everything, they would tell us that it was a pear shape or a concave or even a globe, when really it's been documented for a very long time that it's been flat.
Yeah,
Like,
so
does
it was
history not
also
matter?
documented for a very long time that there was a man in the sky who threw lightning bolts down, but that doesn't make it true.
Well, that would be what, Zeus? Is that who you're referring
Yeah,
to?
Zeus, or
That was a small group of people.
El, or Thor. Like every group, like, the god that the Christians believe in started out as a thunder god, right? Or a storm deity, rather.
Really?
Yeah. Why
I
do you
was
think?
not
Why
under
do you
that
think the God of the Old Testament always like has pillars of fire and floods and shit? Like, that's like the whole thing. His whole thing is that he was a storm deity, right?
So you're saying that the population is actually so stupid that they believe that the weather itself is a god?
Well, people used to. Well, I wouldn't say it was stupid, just ill-informed. But just because people used to believe just because a lot of people used to believe something wrong doesn't make it right.
Right. So yeah, let's go back to the flat Earth shape. So there are some experiments that are not conducted with there was an experiment where it was sort of like a pendulum and it moves a little bit. Do you remember the name of that? I'm still just learning.
Foucault's pendulum. Yes.
Okay. And so they didn't do that experiment in a Faraday cage, did they?
I mean, you can, but you need a really big pendulum, so.
Right, and you could also build a really big Faraday cage and ground it out very deep.
Yeah, it's just kind of
Earth.
a pain to do.
Yeah, but then that means that there's another variable. That means that there's another variable included in that experiment that was not utilized, thus meaning that the gravity itself is actually electrostatics.
The Foucault pendulum has nothing to do with gravity, at least not directly. The reason it spins is because of the rotation of the Earth, not because of gravity.
Okay, all right. So, no, the rotation would also have to do with that.
The rotation is what causes the pendulum to go in a circle, not gravity. But you guys say that the
rotation is what causes gravity.
No, rotation is not what causes gravity.
Okay, then what causes gravity?
Mass.
Mass.
Yes.
So it's just a big. So you're saying that the bigger the ball, the more the mass.
Yes.
Okay. Shit. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so the thing about the Foucault pendulum is you could actually work out the influence on the mass at the bottom, like the pendulum, the thing that's actually swinging. You could work out the influence from the Earth's electric field and from the Earth's magnetic field. Now, the Earth's electric field points basically up, so it's not going to cause it to spin. The Earth's magnetic field points in one direction, so again, not going to cause it to go in a circle.
All right.
So, even if you don't put it in a Faraday cage, the fact that it goes in a circle can't be accounted for with electrostatics or magnetic fields.
Right. Okay, so So you don't think that electrostatic fields have something to do with gravity whatsoever?
No. I mean, so electromagnetic fields can have energy, and energy can influence gravity, but like mass on its own has gravity, with or without electromagnetic fields.
Okay, so you're saying, it almost sounds like you said that it was almost a yes, but not quite.
Well, so in the context of general relativity, where energy can also warp the fabric of space-time, you can have charges that produce their own gravity because of their mass and their charge. But it's still gravity, because we're talking about energy and mass distorting space-time. It's not just electrostatics.
Yeah, but this is where I have problems. We're told something, but then we have something that's tangible and provable, but it's not regarded. It's not.
You're talking about the gravity that's tangible and provable, right?
Sorry, I meant it was the electrostatics. That can be proven.
Oh, how do you prove it?
Kind of rub your head on a balloon.
How do you know that's electrostatics and not gravity?
Or how about telluric currents in the Dirac sea?
How do you know that's? I don't think that you know what any of those are, but how do you know that that's not gravity? How do you know that's electrostatics?
Wow, that's really nice statement. Can I just suggest? I know that your viewers really like hearing it, and I'm not trying to tone police you, but like I'm being very respectful with you. and you're like, you keep making these snide remarks, and it's not really appropriate. Okay, cool.
I think that you shouldn't use words that you don't know what they mean. And I have a feeling you don't know what the Diraxi is. If you want to correct me, I will apologize if you correct me.
Well, that isn't really the topic that we're talking about. So,
Okay.
but it's
Then
just,
don't bring it up.
do you do this with everyone?
Only people who are talking out their ass.
Okay. Well,
And
thank
with
you for
respect,
that.
you are, I mean, and I should be respectful. You are being very respectful, and you're not doing it as much as like other people. But
At all.
then tell me what the Diraxi is.
The Diraxi is a I don't want to say the wrong thing. I got to look it back up. So I do know that I have looked into it before, and I have not looked into it within the last 10 years. So I do want to look it back up. So because
Okay.
I would rather
Okay.
not
It's
sound
fine.
like a
We can move on if you
stupid
want.
and confuse it. I don't want to confuse it with something else. How about this? I'll say it anyways, and if I'm wrong, then I'll go back and reconfirm. Is it
Sure.
the electrostatic photon charge in the atmosphere where it
No.
grounds out to where it is attracted to the Earth?
No, the Diraxi is like a hypothetical.
No, I don't want you to tell me. I want to go.
Oh,
look
you
it
don't?
up.
Okay.
I'll look. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But that's fine. Yeah. So I mean, the point is that the way that we verify that certain things are caused by a certain phenomenon, whether a thing is caused by electrostatics or gravity or magnetism or the strong nuclear force, whatever it is, the way that we do that is we use those models, those theories, to make a prediction, and then we check if that prediction comes true. Now, in the case of electrostatics, the way we can prove this is we have a formula for what the force due to electrostatic forces should be. So all we have to do is we put a certain amount of charge on something, we put something else a certain distance away, and then we measure the force. And if that agrees with the formula, then we've at least provided evidence that electrostatics are real. And we do the same thing with gravity. You have a formula, you put two masses next to each other, and you measure the force between them. And if the force between them agrees with the formula, then you have evidence for gravity.
Okay.
And we do that. That's been done for the last 300 years.
Is it not still based on theory?
There is no difference between electrostatics and gravity insofar as they are both theoretical models that reproduce reality when they make predictions. There's no difference.
Okay.
They're both
what about,
equally theoretical and equally experimental.
Okay. So what about the fact that you have huge, large plains that are completely flat, and then it's surrounded by mountains, and
Well,
like
they're not completely flat.
Like the plains that go from like the Northwest Territories all the way down, like it looks like a big trough or like a big ice sheet just wiped it flat.
Yeah, so they're just not completely flat, right?
Okay, I'm Blitz. I was just trying to act like one of them. I'm not changed. I just having
Fucking
fun.
get out of here. He deserved the snide remarks. I hate that shit. All right, let's bring on another guest. Hopefully a genuine one.
Hello?
E, how's it going?
Hello. E is reference to an Echo 2K album. I just want to kind of promote that because he's my favorite artist.
All right, fair enough. So what shape do you think the Earth is?
Pear-shaped oblique
All right, get
spheroid.
out of here. It says join if you
No.
disagree. No. I love cutting them off while they're like before they get a word out. They're like, no, and it's like when you pull the lever and then they fall down the trap door. They're like, no, and you know it's kind of like that. Dior, how's it going?
What's up, man?
Not a whole lot. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I have no idea. Could be flat. Could be a square. Who knows?
Could it be a sphere?
Could be a sphere. Yeah.
Okay.
Could be anything.
Why'd you want to come up?
Because I think it could be anything.
Okay.
Haven't seen it with my own eyes.
Well, have you ever been outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have seen it with your own eyes. Have you ever been to the ocean? Have you ever seen a sunset?
Yeah.
So you have seen it with your own eyes then?
Yeah, but like not fully, you know what I mean?
Well, nobody's ever seen the full Earth because it's a three-dimensional thing. You can only ever see one side of it at a time, right?
Yeah.
So
But
like,
I've never been to space and seen it from like more of like another perspective that would shape my reality of my opinion
So-
on what shape it would.
do you think that, have you been to Australia?
No, I have
Okay,
not.
do you think that Australia is real?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's, I don't know. I guess if I had a friend that bought a plane ticket and went over there, they could probably send me a video of them over there. But
Have
then
you
again,
had a
I
friend that did that?
could also make an argument. I can also make an argument that might not be real as well.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe what?
That Australia is not real?
No, I do believe that it's real.
Okay, so why don't you believe that the Earth is a globe? Because you have the same amount of evidence for both.
Well, yeah, I believe that it could be a globe, but I
Do you
also
believe
think
that
that
Australia could exist? Or do you believe that it does
Yes.
exist?
I believe that it could exist, but it does exist. If that
Okay,
makes sense.
So
Like,
why
it
don't you
couldn't
believe that it
exist,
could
but
be
it
a
does
globe,
exist.
and it is a globe?
Why don't I believe that?
Yeah, why not? Why don't you believe that it is a globe?
Oh no, I do. Like 50%.
Okay. Let's bring up Kinga y Capricia. Kinga, how's it going?
Yeah, it's good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Like flat, but like an upside down cone. But I
Flat,
really
but like
wanted to.
Wait, hold on. You gotta elaborate on that. What?
Like, you know, in the picture you have up, like it's just a cone underneath that you're not seeing. But
Yeah.
really what I wanted to like potentially discuss, if you're open to it, is you were talking about evolution earlier.
Yep, not the topic of the debate though.
Sure. I guess I just have some. I know it's not exactly your field either, but I just guess I have some uncertainty about it, and I was wondering if you could help.
Well, that'll have to be for another day. And honestly, you should ask a biologist. So I gotta
I've
let you
tried.
know.
I've never got like a good answer, honestly.
There's a person named GT, also known as Bear Bait. She's a great science communicator. She's also a biologist, so go bother her about it because she would know better than I would. Have a good one, man.
Sure. Oh.
Bear Bait's great. GT is very wholesome, very good. She's been through a lot. Let's bring up Silas. All right, Silas is not coming up. Yes, GT is the brain organoid girl. That's what she went super viral on that. Yeah. All right, let's bring up Emmanuel. Brain organoid woman. She's a goddamn adult. Emmanuel, how's it going?
Okay, I have proof. Like the thing is, I do not believe the Earth is round. The Earth.
Okay.
to
Is
me,
there
I
is there a
think
way
it's
that you
like-
could go to a quieter place because it's kind of loud? There's some like background noise.
You sure? I'm pretty. Nah, I think it's quiet now. I'm trying to step away from the noise.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I believe the Earth is like shaped like a plate, but like this tilted like on sides.
What? Why?
Like like a plate, right?
Yeah.
A plate that's tilted on its sides.
So you think it's a sideways plate?
Yes.
Are you trolling me, bud? You know, unfortunately, it's actually kind of hard to ban people or to block people while I am while I'm live from my computer, which makes it hard to ban people who join because they want to troll, which is annoying. Aces, how's it going?
It's AC.
AC, how's it going?
It's going good. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Possibly flat. Kind of how the one guy who was here, like I guess 2 people before me, said he believed it was kind of like 50-50. He didn't really know what to believe. My beliefs kind of lie there. But with how you went about the Australia thing, like, you know, well, do you believe like Australia's a real place? And like with that same logic, yes, I do believe it's a real place, but the thing is there's more to actually um confirm that Australia is a real place versus saying that, oh, the earth is round. You know, there's more to validate Australia versus the earth being round. Like, cause yeah, where exactly like he was saying, like we can only really go by what we've seen, but yeah, we know the earth is a real place. So, but as far as knowing the actual shape of the earth is a whole different thing.
Okay, so how about this? Have you been to Hawaii?
No, I haven't been to Hawaii.
Okay. Would you believe me if I told you that the big island in Hawaii is a big is in a mountain shape? Like it's shaped like a mountain?
That would have to be something that I would look into myself, or I would have.
So you wouldn't believe me?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't believe you. I would listen to you. I would hear you, but like
I'm asking if you would believe me.
I would believe it once I've seen it for myself.
Okay, and so do you believe that there's like that there are mountains in? Do you believe that Mount Everest exists?
Yes, there's proof of Mount Everest.
Have you seen it?
Photos, videos.
Photos?
Yes.
Photos and videos.
Yes.
Is that enough evidence to convince you that something has the shape that it does?
But there's a lot of evidence and people to confirm that something like that exists.
There's the same amount. There's a lot of
people,
I think
not just like scientists and
wait. How many people do you think have been to Mount Everest?
Thousands of people have been to Mount Everest.
Like a few thousand. And I think that there's been hundreds of astronauts, right? In fact, we have live streams from space 24/7.
So get this straight with everything, like, and just understand this: the technology that we have in 2025 exceeds the technology that we had back in the 60s and the 70s, right? So now with like, when was the last time we sent someone to the moon? Like, why aren't
72?
we doing things? Okay, so why aren't we doing things like that anymore? You know,
because we've already been there. And by the way, the Artemis program is in development, and I think they're scheduled to launch like 2026. Is going to be their first launch of people back to the moon, like next year or something like that.
Okay, but still, where I'm going with this is like, I kind of lost my train of thought too.
2027 maybe. I don't know when it is. It's soon though.
Okay, but we are sending people to the moon right now. Technology is far exceeding that. And we also live in a day and age where things could be easily, like, you know, corrupted videos, like things like CGI, where
so what you're telling me is that even if we do send people to the moon, you won't believe it. You just won't even believe it.
There's proof of these places that you're bringing up that have had evidence of their existence far before, like things like CGI and like green screen, where people's belief and what they're seeing can easily be, you know, manipulated.
Hey, you know what's funny? I'm pretty sure that the first photo of the summit of Mount Everest was taken after the first photo of the curvature of the Earth.
Are you pretty sure, or are you positive?
Yeah, the first photo of the summit of Mount Everest was in 1953. At least that was the first photo of a person at the summit. I don't actually know when the actual first photo is, but I can't find any earlier. And the first photo of the curvature of the Earth from like a high altitude balloon was in 1937, I want to say, and I can pull up the date for you if you want.
Well, there's the thing is, I'm not saying that the Earth isn't
1935.
curved.
I'm sorry.
Like, and my whole statement is I don't know what the Earth shape is, but
we have pictures.
I just wanted to say, like, the point that you try to make with like someone not seeing a specific country, like, and do I believe that exists versus the curvature of the Earth? Those are two different things that you're trying to compare. And
Not
I feel
really.
like that comparison
The point,
is kind of
the
weak.
reason why I offer that example is because the evidence that we have that Australia is real is that we've heard from people who have been there that it's real. We've seen pictures and videos of it that show it's real. That's the only, like, if you haven't been there, that's the only evidence that we have that it's real. In the same way, we have pictures and videos of the, sorry, one sec. God damn it. We have can you hear me?
Yeah, I
so
can hear you.
we have pictures and videos of the Earth from space, and we have people who have been to space who have told us that the Earth is a sphere. So we have the same type of evidence. It's the same quality of evidence. Now there might be more evidence for Australia, but like that's just because more people have been there. It doesn't mean it's not. It doesn't mean that the evidence is like of a different kind.
Well, that's just all I'm saying. Like, I feel like just because you haven't been somewhere doesn't mean that you can't prove that something exists.
I agree.
And
You're right. I'm glad that you think that the Earth is a sphere.
I don't necessarily think it's a sphere.
But then why'd you just say that just because you haven't been there doesn't mean you can't prove it's a sphere?
Because I don't know.
So why don't you look at the evidence?
I have seen the evidence, but that's
what
the
evidence
thing
have you
too,
seen,
though.
and why isn't it convincing?
I mean, there's a lot of evidence. We're taught what the shape of the Earth is from elementary to high school. Like
I'm asking what the evidence
I'm
is
saying,
that you've looked at. Not that you were taught it as a kid. I'm asking what's the evidence that you've looked at.
well, they've got plenty of pictures, quote
Okay,
unquote
have you looked at them?
satellites. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of the
But also,
1972
there's
blue
plenty of
marble?
pictures of the Earth where things change drastically.
What do you think
Like,
of the 1972 blue marble? Have you seen that one? It was taken in 1972, which means that it predates CGI, right?
Yeah, but all because something predates CGI doesn't mean that it still couldn't be constructed.
I mean, if that's your standard of evidence, then you should think that everything's fake. Australia could be constructed for all you know, right?
No, it couldn't.
Oh, why not?
I actually know someone that's from Australia at my
And
job.
I know somebody that's been to space. I don't actually, but what if I did? Would you believe me then? By the way, this is the blue marble.
Okay.
It's a photograph, right? It's a real photograph, like on film.
Pretty much, though, where I was going with that, like, I'm not taking or giving like anything towards like the Earth not possibly being round. That's not where I'm going with this. But I just wanted to point out like the example that you use, because I'm here watching, I'm learning things as as I watch. I don't just take any like one person's word for like fact. I like to look into stuff. I'm not gonna say I'm the smartest person, but I like to educate myself from like multiple sources and like to really like kind of filter through everything and
Have you done
try to
that?
make it make sense. But all I was saying mainly, I just wanted to join and say that just because like you haven't been somewhere doesn't mean you can't prove that it exists.
I
But
agree.
I'm from Earth, but I can't prove the shape of Earth. So that's all I was saying. Like the
Fortunately,
point
we
that you-
can prove the shape of the Earth. That's the whole point. Just because you haven't been to space doesn't mean you can't prove the shape of the Earth.
Well, I can't say
I don't think you've looked at the
that the
evidence.
Earth. I've seen the evidence.
What
But
evidence have you
is,
seen?
The thing is, you can't just say like, or like. So if I sit here and I show you a picture of something, and I sit there, I show you a picture of a rock and say this is from the moon, you're gonna believe it's from the moon?
I showed you a picture of Earth. right?
No, but
not
answer
not a
my
rock,
question.
a
If
picture
I
of
show you a
Earth.
picture of a rock and say it's from the moon, you're just gonna believe it's from the moon.
I'd
Granted,
probably,
if
I'd
a
probably,
scientist shows
I'd,
you a
I
rock and
would
says it's from the moon,
probably
you're just gonna
try to
believe it's from the
figure out
moon.
where that photo came from. Where did it come from? And then, yeah, maybe I would
Exactly.
believe it, depending on how
But
trustworthy the source is.
well,
But
exactly. You would
we don't
have
need
to
a rock.
question.
We don't
You
need a
would have
rock
to
to figure out the shape of
question
the Earth.
the authentic. You would have to question how authentic that rock was. You would have to look into it. You would have to study it, which means you wouldn't just believe it, right? Just because someone told you, and they have, like
Do
they
you
have
think
some
that that's
degree.
how? Do you go through your life that way? Like, do you authentic? Like, do you ever go to the doctor?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Do you like trust what your doctor tells you? Like, or like, if you have chest pain, will you be like, the doctor said I might be having a heart attack, but I don't know. I should go read a medical textbook and verify.
No, I will ask questions, and I would like to understand more of what the doctor is saying to me. I wouldn't
And
just
to be
take what the
clear, will
doctor
you believe them
says.
when they give you an answer?
If they have studies, tests,
Do you
and
ask
things
for
to back
those?
it up, yeah.
Do you ask for those when
Yeah.
you go to the doctor?
Do you
Every
go to
time?
a doctor and they tell you that you have something wrong with your chest and they don't take a test or they don't do a study? That they just tell you something's wrong with you and you just take that as fact? No,
Well,
they
no,
have
no.
to run tests.
Wait, were
They
you
do
talking about
tests.
tests or were you talking about studies? Because tests are things they do on you. Studies are things that scientists do.
But regardless, like a test, like they have to take a sample, they have to do something in order to
Yeah.
tell you something is wrong with you.
Yeah, and do you believe them, or you be like, I don't know, I need to go see the methodology for that study, and I need to go see how it
Well,
compares
if
to
they
the
can show
literature.
me the test and explain to me why, what
Right.
is what, or
And
why
then you
I'm
believe them, right? When they explain it to
exactly.
you.
But no,
Right.
but that's the
So
thing
why
I'm
don't you
saying. They
believe
would
the
have to
scientists when they tell you
show
that the
me.
Earth
They
is
would
a
have to
sphere?
prove to me. They're
Why
not
don't?
just telling me something.
Wait, no, they
If
are.
if I'm a scientist
Hold
and
on.
I've been to the moon and I tell you this
I'm
is
so
from the
confused.
moon, you just said that you would fact check it. You would see where the picture came
Hold
from.
on,
You would
Aces.
go into it.
So you go to the doctor, you say, I don't know, my chest hurts. They take some blood, they go run it through a machine. The doctor comes back with a sheet of paper and says, you have high cholesterol or whatever, right? And do you just go, okay? Or do you go, I don't know, let me see the data. I don't believe you. I'm going to double check and make sure that your machine is working up to, like, what do you do?
One, I'm not gonna double check and make sure the machine is working. Like that's all I'm saying, bro. I feel like you're trying to twist it and make it into something a lot deeper. There
I'm
are
saying that
things.
you're being a hypocrite, is what I'm
I'm
saying.
not being a hypocrite.
You are. Because you don't operate with this standard of evidence for anything except the shape of the Earth.
No, that's not true.
Okay, can you give me one other example where you have this level of skepticism? Where you distrust every single scientist on the face of the planet? You don't believe anything that they say?
I never said I distrust every scientist.
Every single scientist on the face of the planet thinks the Earth is a sphere. Every single one.
But that doesn't mean I distrust them. I never said I
believe them?
distrust anyone.
Do you believe them?
I never said I did. This is the thing, bro. I never said whether I believe the world is flat or round. I just said I'm really open to believing whatever that can be proved, and
But you haven't looked at the evidence.
look into going.
Like if you
It's
want
kinda
to
hard.
figure out what's been proved, you have to actually look at the evidence, right?
Well, yeah, but the whole flat Earth theory and everything like that is kind of like, as far as like how viral and how it's going about now, it kind of gives more people the insight to like try to look into that and see what evidence lies there and not just take what, because I'm not a scientist. I'm not just going to take take it and throw it away and just say that's garbage. And I haven't did my own looking into whether my own research and looking into whether the Earth is flat or not, or what evidence do they have. But the whole situation with the doctor and stuff like that, I'm not saying that I'm going to question everything that comes up. Like, yeah, there's things that can be explain. And if someone can explain it to you and make it make sense, or show you tests and why this is the reason, oh, you're sick, or why this is the reason the earth is flat, or why this is the reason the earth is round, then yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that goes back and forth. And it's like you got actual people who are quote unquote like scientists and stuff like that that actually say that it's flat.
Name one.
I'm not gonna name one because I don't know.
There aren't
I don't
any.
know any.
There are no
scientist's name
there,
off
there
the
are
top
no
of my
physicists
head.
who think the Earth is flat. Not a
There are
single
people
one.
out there.
Not a single one. I've met zero, and I've talked to a lot of, and I've asked for people to bring up one physicist who thinks the Earth is flat.
Well, like I said, I don't even know an actual scientist that believe that the world is round. I don't
You're
know
talking to one
anyone's
right
name
now.
off the top of my
You're talking
head.
to one
Like,
right now.
okay, I get that, but I don't know anyone's name off the top of my head.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know who he is?
No.
Stephen Hawking. Do you know who he is?
Yes, I do. I have heard of Stephen Hawking.
Okay, he thought the Earth was round.
But you asked me to name someone off the top of my head. I don't.
My
know
point
anyone's name
is
off the top of my
that
head.
the scientists, including myself, have done the work. We have the evidence. If you haven't seen that, you either haven't asked or you didn't believe us.
I'm not taking any of that away from anyone. Like I said, the only reason why I really joined was your comparison that you made.
I know.
About
You joined because
Australia.
hypocrisy. That's why.
Well, I guess that's what you want to say. But,
All right, ACs.
yeah.
Thanks for being here.
All right, no problem.
You ask for 10 seconds, you may not have it. William, thank you for the galaxy on TikTok. That's much appreciated. Much love. All right, let's bring up Wilkie Bado. What a fun name.
Oh, what's up?
Wilkie, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's round.
Then why'd you come up?
I'm curious as to what the actual debate's for, because I got the gist of the flat earthers coming in here.
Because
but
they
I
think
didn't
that the
know.
Earth is flat, and they're wrong.
But the flat earth is dead thing on the top. Is that any relevance?
Yeah, because it is dead. And I'm trying to convince people that it is.
What do you mean by it's dead?
As in, anybody who thinks that it's, you know how if you, imagine that you, believed something and then it was proven wrong and you still believed it. It'd be
Right.
dead.
Well, no, but there's still people that believe it. It's not
Yeah,
dead.
they do, even though it's dead.
But they refuse.
You're right. That's why we do
But
the live.
I don't get how stupid these people can be, man. It's idiocracy. It's crazy, man. But
All right.
thanks.
Well, thanks for being here.
Live, dude. Hell yeah! I didn't think you'd let me in. That's pretty cool.
Take care. Opposition only. Remember, guys. Let's talk to Roland. Oh, wait, never mind. Flat Earth Facts. I'll bring you up next. Roland. How's it going?
Hey.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
Good, thanks. Well, for me, it's a sphere, definitely. But my question again is one more thing: is sorry about the I'm having illness, so that's I'm speaking slowly. What if there are two timelines where two people have met from flat Earth and from round Earth, and now they've arguing? That's it. Thanks.
There aren't two timelines, and even if there were, there's no flat Earth. Oh, wait, Flat Earth Facts, he left. There was a guy in the guest box whose name was Flat Earth Facts, and he left. I wanted to bring him up. You know, I should challenge my inner... What's his name? The guy who played Hercules? Who's like a crazy, nut job now? Bummer. disappointed. No, not that guy. Not The Rock. Kevin Sorbo. There you go. No, we like The Rock. Spade, how's it going?
Yo.
What shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's round.
All right, why'd you join?
I just want to say, I think what you did is pretty sick, man.
Well, thanks. Appreciate you. But I gotta let you go. All right, we have E. You get 5 seconds.
Yes. Okay. How do I convince someone that doesn't perceive logic that the Earth is round?
It depends on how bought into it they are. If they're very bought into it, if they are a flurf daddy, if you will, meaning that they are the ones doing the shilling, then all you can do is make them look stupid to make other people who believe them not want to listen to them anymore. If, on the other hand, they're a flat earth t-shirt buyer, if they buy the flurf daddy t-shirts, then you can probably bring them over. You just have to convince them that their flurf daddy is stupid and their flurf daddy lied to them, and here's what's actually true, and here's the evidence. Yeah, flurf daddy. All flurfs have a flurf daddy. All right, we have Louis Ortiz in the guest box. Oh, maybe not. If we could only do that from Aga. Yeah. Strangely enough, there are no flurf mommies. You'd think, but nope, there's none. The Willow Chip did not suggest multiple universes, no. Blitz watches Discovery Channel and combs his hair. I haven't watched the Discovery Channel since they were bought out by THC. It's such a bummer. Water diluted things, including your basic premise. What does that mean? Are you married? I am. What do you know about how I can travel through things like glass optic? I don't... Yes. Oh, you're right. Actually, TLC, not THC. You're right. TLC. You're right. K is a flurf mommy. Absolutely true. But honestly, they probably were bought out by THC, all things considered. Commander Alien, how's it going? Feels like it's been a while.
Good, man. Am I on here? I guess I am on here.
You are?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You think
Yeah,
you're the
so
flat?
no, I don't. I deal with my whole thing. I'm late at night. I have a really big show on UFOs and ETs and life elsewhere. So I definitely don't believe that the Earth is flat. I don't know where people coming up with that kind of whole philosophy, but in the whole universe, the planets are definitely round. I mean, you know, your own eyes, you can look at a planet with a telescope and it's not flat. Now there can be alternative theories, but there's no way the planets are flat. And all these planets that have life on them, the lives that live on these other planets don't live on flat worlds. We don't live on a flat world. You know,
Just to be clear, we haven't found life on other worlds yet.
Well, that's your opinion. I'm involved in the subject for over 20 years, so I'm not even going to go there.
Okay.
You know, but I respect your opinion. I just totally not going to go there. I've been involved in these things for so long, done so much research, have seen so many things in my own life that would dispute anything that says we haven't found. Now, publicly, the NASA and all these agencies will say they're hoping to find life elsewhere, but in truth, they're lying to the public. They know what's going on. They know a lot about what's going on. I've had people with top security clearance with NASA who have been on my show that have talked about this.
Yeah, so where's the life? Like where is it? What planet is it from?
Why are NASA and all these agencies, including the Pentagon, for over 70 years lying to the public regarding extraterrestrial intelligence? That's the question you need to answer.
I don't know if that's true, actually.
Well, you know that's true because you're not asking the question to them.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay. Who works at NASA that you've spoken with?
Say again?
Who works at NASA that you've spoken with?
No, I have had people on my show that have people that are inside of NASA that have come on.
Oh, wait a
show
minute.
not-
So this is third-hand knowledge?
No, this is
You've
people
spoken
that
with people who've spoken with people who said that
people
aliens
on
are
my
real?
show. I have a woman who has somebody in NASA that came on the show.
Did they tell you
and
who that someone is?
Did you know NASA knows a lot more about extraterrestrial
So,
intelligence? than
Commander, I happen to know somebody who has been to the core of the Earth, and there are mole people that live there.
Are you speaking truth or you're telling a story?
Do you believe me?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because I was obviously making it up. Now, why do you believe some random person who says,
Because
"Oh, I know a
the
guy at
difference-
NASA"?
Because I know the difference when I'm interviewing people that I'm going to interview. Before I interview them, I do some good research.
You do
And I don't
research
just
on.
put
So then, why don't you know who the person is? Who the NASA person is? Why do you only know
I'm
who
just
the person
talking-
who's
I'm
friends with
talking
them?
about the information, okay? I don't have to give you a name. I will just tell you that in general, do you think the Pentagon is telling you the truth about extraterrestrial intelligence? Do you really believe that?
I don't think that the Pentagon has seen extraterrestrial intelligence. No.
You don't believe that the Pentagon has seen any proof of extraterrestrial intelligence?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think that the Department of Defense within the Pentagon doesn't have levels of secrecy regarding cosmic top secret information?
Do you think that Trump could keep his mouth shut if he heard that aliens were real?
I think all the presidents have never gone public because they've been threatened if they did go public.
You think that Trump would care about that?
I think Trump has
Dude just blatantly gave up nuclear secrets to a random reporter because he wanted to brag about it.
No, I'm not talking about nuclear secrets. I'm talking
Oh,
about.
no. My point is he's a blabbermouth. He would say,
No,
he would spill the beans in an instant.
Trump has definitely been advised, and every president is, you know, when they get into the White House, they're advised by the Pentagon about what they can say about the subject. They always.
Yeah,
are.
I'm sure. And Trump would disregard it and just blab because he's a blabbermouth.
Do you believe he would blab about extraterrestrial intelligence?
He blabbed about nuclear secrets to some random reporter. What else? Why would he not blab about anything?
Yeah, he said that he was gonna. On some interviews he's done, he said he's gonna. He's not really interested in it, but he knows some things. He's been told things. But I don't think when push comes to shove, I doubt very much that he's going public on national TV, on CNN and Fox and everybody, and say, "Oh, American people, I'm now going to tell you what the Pentagon told me about top secret information regarding the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence." I just don't think he'll do it. I mean, prove me wrong.
I mean, he has a history of revealing top secret classified information. He's done it before.
Well, let's see if he does, Dr. Blitz. I just want to get him and say hello.
He had 4 years to do it, and he didn't do it.
Well, because he's been told by the people that every president comes in office, you know this to be true, regardless of arguing about it. Every president that said they were going to get to the truth never did because they were told they cannot say a word, and they didn't.
I'm
because
sure.
something would happen to them.
I'm
That's
sure.
just-
But, I mean, you can believe that if you want, but it doesn't make it true.
Yeah, look, it might, it's a belief system, but tell me any president that comes forth in your lifetime, since I was a kid in the 60s, every president from Kennedy onward never, ever, ever came forward when they became president about the subject of UFOs.
Well, maybe because
And
they're
it's
not aliens.
Maybe because they were threatened if they went public, they wouldn't be
Okay,
around
so
anymore.
what's more likely? That the guy who is against the deep state, he's clearing out, he literally just replaced all of the deep state department heads with, like, losers. He's the guy that's being controlled by the deep state. And that's more likely than there just not being aliens that have visited.
Let me ask you a question. You know that we have a thing called Space Force, right?
Yep, Trump started it.
Okay. What do you think Space Force is used for?
Well, it's not really doing anything right now. It used to be a branch
wait a
of
minute, I don't want to stop
the
here.
Air Force, if
gotta
I
go.
remember correctly.
I've got to go. I'll get back to you. We'll have another discussion. Everybody enjoy the show.
All right, take care, man.
All right, man. Take care.
This VOD's gonna be crazy, y'all. What a VOD. Yeah, honestly, he would just try to, like, make a deal with the aliens, and then he'd be, like... it would be totally on brand for him.
What's up, bud?
Hostile, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing alright. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm on the flat side.
Okay, want to tell me why?
Well, I guess in the easiest sense, it measures flat over long distance.
What measurements?
What measurements?
Yeah, like when you say it measures flat, what measurements are you talking about?
Like if you were trying to, I guess how everybody says measure the curve, go to like a large body of water and then use some kind of camera or telescope. Then try to see something that's where it's at and then mark the distance, all the variables, like observer's height, object's height. I think like humidity and pressure would be in there, and then like refraction, of course. So
all of this stuff has been done, and it ends up exactly matching what you would expect from a globe.
Yeah, no, I heard that too, and then I went and.
Well, no, I mean like I know a surveyor who's done this.
Okay, I mean, I know a guy that knows a kid that did a thing.
I mean, the surveyor is literally a guy on TikTok who does this on lives. He makes measurements on lives.
Okay.
His name is Baron.
Like, does he?
He's a surveyor. It's his day job.
Right. Do you have you seen any of these videos? I've never heard of him. Like, how far is he generally?
He's measured out miles.
Okay. Because I'd say like
his name is Baron Rutledge, by the way, for anybody who wants to go find him. And he has so many videos of this. Like I've seen him do this so many times that Baron, please don't hate me. I skip most of his videos because it's basically all the same. It's just him going out and making a measurement and then doing math and showing that it matches with the globe. That's basically all of his videos, which, more power to him. It just gets kind of boring when you've done it 1,000 times.
Right, no, I can imagine. Yeah.
But yeah, he has so many measurements.
I'm glad he's doing it over miles because I would say like the smallest one, I think that I would, if somebody said they went to the beach and did a test and I asked them how far they saw and they were like, man, I looked 6 miles away, I would disregard that because like I think the minimum would be at this point like 40 or 50.
Yeah, so he has done it where it's been mountaintop to mountaintop, and I think it was like 30 or 50 miles away or something like that. In fact, I think he's actually brought flat earthers that are local to him to go do it with him.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Okay.
Like this is something like you can definitely do this.
I mean, I've only done it over water. I've never done it. I don't do it over land because the whole argument is like topography could throw like any kind of measurement off. So water would just be the best way.
So are you familiar with reciprocal zenith angles?
I am not familiar. No.
Let me show you a diagram. One moment. I just want a good diagram that can kind of explain what I'm talking about. This one. Here we go. Okay. Walter Bislin. Always ever reliable. Okay, one sec. Let me just pull up the diagram. There we go. Diagram. So this is one way that you can measure the shape of the Earth. So I had to make it kind of small, but forgive me. So if the Earth was flat, regardless of what the topography is, so that's this case, if the Earth is flat, if you measure the angle, so imagine that you put let me give you the setup. You have one person, I don't know, at point A, another person at point B, and they're like 5 miles away from each other or something like that, right? Or maybe they're like 3 miles away, whatever, as long as they're within line of sight. And you make sure they use a plumb bob. Do you know what a plumb bob is?
Yeah, to draw like parallel to or perpendicular to.
Yeah, it gives you a vertical. Yeah. So then all you have to do is measure the angle from vertical to your line of sight to the other person, right? And so that will give you an angle. That angle will look something like, I don't know, it'll be some angle connecting them. So like maybe it's this angle, like this curly zeta 2 thing. It would be an angle that is a direct line from one person to the other. Now, if the Earth was flat, if both people measure this angle, if both people measure the angle, if the Earth was flat, it would always add up to 180 degrees. One person might measure 92 degrees if they're slightly higher. The other person might measure 88 degrees if they're slightly lower. But it would always add up to 180 degrees, regardless of where they are relative to each other, if the Earth was flat. Okay. Because their verticals would be parallel. So any line connecting them, the sum of the angles has to be 180 degrees. That's a geometric fact about the shape of the Earth. If the Earth is flat, the internal angle of the reciprocal zenith angles have to be 180 degrees. Now, if the Earth's a globe, the angle always has to be bigger than 180 degrees because the lines point away from each other. Imagine that you're on a globe, and then you'll see that if they're separated by a few miles, the verticals will be pointing away from each other, and so some of the angles between them will be more than 180 degrees. So you can just go out and do this measurement. You can make reciprocal zenith angle measurements. They're not that hard to do. You can do them over even just a few miles, and it doesn't matter at all about the topography. And wouldn't you know it, the predictions exactly line up with the globe.
Okay, I mean, if I was going to do that, especially that experiment as you explained over 5 miles, like I would want to build.
You could do it over a mile or over 2 miles. It's like we have precise enough instruments that it doesn't really matter. Like as long as you're kind of far away.
Right. I'm just saying I would want to do it in like a very, very controlled setting. So I would want to build if we were doing 5 miles, I would want to see that done inside a 5 mile contained thing that was built level to the floor. Why?
Why does it? So the whole point of the reciprocal zenith angles is that it doesn't matter what the topography is, because even if one is slightly higher than the other, all you're measuring is the angles of the verticals, whether they're pointing in the same direction or whether they're pointing away from each other.
No, the reason I brought up topography when like viewing through a camera distance is like if we were on a hill, a slant, and you walked away from me and started walking downhill, and I said, "Look, you're curving away from me," that would be a ridiculous argument, right? We'd be like, no, because the ground slants down or whatever. So doing it over water, I guess if you're gonna do some test outside, some observation over water would be, just in my head, the clearest one. That gets rid of most of the.
So why would you want to do any observation over water when that's when you have the most distortion?
What do you mean? Because of
mirages happen frequently over water because water temperature doesn't change much. Ground temperature changes a lot. It changes with the temperature of the air. So the ground, you just don't see mirages very often over the ground. Now you do sometimes in like deserts and stuff, but over the ocean there are mirages all the time. So doing any measurement over the ocean is such a bad idea if you're trying to make precision measurements because the refractive index can do all sorts of wild things.
Okay, now I haven't done this myself. I've just heard other flat earthers say that this is what I should do. Is when you're doing like long distance over that because of because of whatever's happening at the water level, or the ground level, like an infrared camera will kind of cancel out a lot of that. I'm not a camera guy, so
if you want to, the point is what I would suggest doing, and this is the only reason I would suggest this, is do a reciprocal zenith angle measurement over a fairly short distance. We have precise enough instruments that you can detect the small change in angle even over distances of say a mile. So do that, because that way, then the difference in in atmospheric conditions will be basically negligible because you're pretty close to the other person. The atmosphere is going to be basically the same. Then you don't have to worry about refraction. You don't have to worry about any of that nonsense.
Okay, I mean, I follow your line of thought. To me, it doesn't feel like the most, like if I wanted to measure a 2x4 and the argument was, is it 10 feet long or is it 8 feet long? Like my easiest one would be like, well, let's go get a tape measure and just measure the object that's in question. Like, why would we do, I mean, you could do any other kind of
That's
test.
what the reciprocal zenith angles do. It's one of the most direct ways of measuring curvature. Because when you're just measuring something dipping below the horizon, there's a whole bunch of extra effects that could come to play. There could be effects about refraction. There can be effects about magnification. There's the height that you have to take into account. There's topography, like you said. But reciprocal zenith angles, there's no variables. It's just the angles. That's all you're measuring.
Okay, I mean, I'll look into that one, but yeah, no. As far as I can tell, measuring it flat over even to 100 miles is like there's no. Because
I don't think anybody's ever done that, by the way.
I'm sure somebody has. Yeah, I know there's people that, like you said, that dude, you took pictures of mountains, and I know people have done it, and I know that somebody has to have shot like a mountain range from like 200 miles away at least once.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but that's not inconsistent with a globe. You can see things further away if they're taller.
Yeah, but up to a certain point, because if it's a
ball, the taller they are, the further away you can see them. Right, and the higher up you start, the further away you can see things.
Right, so if something was 100 feet tall and it started to move away from me, like let's say over water, there would be a limit to where even
There's
at
a
100
formula for
feet-
this, by the way.
Exactly. Yes, there is. Yeah. So if something was at 100 feet tall and it was far enough away to you that the math said you couldn't see it, but you still could, the explanation.
Yeah, but as far as I know, there's never been a confirmed case where the globe math has failed to agree with what's observed.
Oh,
Like it's just
bro,
never happened.
See it, man. I don't know if you're near New Orleans, but if you want to come to Lake Pontchartrain,
I'm not, but I appreciate the invite. Wendigo, thank you for the 200 crowns.
But other than it measuring, like me being able to measure it,
But you haven't measured it, right?
no, I have, yeah.
You have?
Yeah, from
What'd you measure?
From Mandeville, Louisiana to the Superdome in
So what was the measurement that you made? What did you do?
I don't, let me see if I still have the calculator. I used an Earth curve calculator that I found on a website called Metabunk.
Well, I want to know what measurement you did. I don't care about the calculator. I can do my own math.
So you just want like the...
Yeah, what was the measurement that you made?
Like the distance? Or...
What did you do? Did you just measure the distance from one thing to another? Or like, did you measure an angle? Like, what did you do?
I mean, I measured the distance according to Google Earth from...
Was it, so then you didn't take any... Did you take any measurements? Like, did you collect any data?
Yeah.
Okay, what was the data that you collected?
Where I was, the observer location, the observer height, the object.
Yeah, so give me that information. So...
It's been years. Let me see if I still have it on my computer.
Okay. CZK is Czech crowns. Yeah. Local currency. It's like 200 crowns is like $8. A little bit more than $8, I guess. By the way, y'all, while we're waiting, make sure to follow and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or TikTok, respectively. Backwards. And if you want to support me, there's like a whole bunch of different ways that you can do so. There's like links in the description on YouTube. There's like a link tree that has a Cash App in it. All sorts of lovely ways. You don't have to, but it's much appreciated.
Okay,
link in the bio. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So the distance from where I was sitting or standing on the, whatever you want to call it, the beach, I guess, and looking for the Superdome is about 31 miles. 31
Okay.
point.
31 miles. And you were standing on the beach, you said?
Yeah.
And how tall are you?
I'm 5'9", but I'd say I was probably like adding like 3 feet to that because it's not. It doesn't like.
Okay, let's call it. I don't know, 9 feet, right?
Okay.
And how big is the thing that you were looking at?
Let me try to find that.
What's it called? A Superdome?
Yeah. Or actually, they changed it a few years ago. I still call it Superdome. Huh? Everybody does.
Okay. It has it's 273 feet tall. And what is the elevation that it's at?
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to find that right now for you.
Elevation.
That's from Google.
Superdome.
Maybe
actually, where is the Superdome? It's from the floor. It's 273 feet, but I don't know what the altitude is.
I'm trying to find.
I feel like this is information that you should have had, right?
Well, it's been years since I've had to bring it up. Usually, I just link someone a video to a similar experiment that got me to be like, okay, I need to go out and see what's going on. I've seen the high altitude videos. I've seen all of the boats going over curves, and then I saw one video of a woman shooting something at 30 miles, and I was like, no way. Let me go check.
All right, hold on. Elevation. No, we want location of the Superdome. And you're telling me you were standing on the beach, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it on the Google Maps. So I can give you an exact.
Caesars Superdome. It's kind of far from where I live. Not gonna lie. A little on the far side. Alright, so I found the elevation. Ah, there it is. Bingo. Okay, so it's like 1 meter above sea level, of course.
Yeah, it's low down there. That's why it floods.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, that doesn't really make any sense. It's saying that the highway, like the overpass, is only 3 feet above sea level. So somebody says in the comments, from the beach to the dome is 180 elevation. So let's just add 180 feet to its height. Put it at 450. Even with standard atmospheric conditions, you should be able to see the top of it.
Right.
So that's on the globe. You should be able to see the top of it on a globe.
Okay. Well, I don't disagree with that, but you can see much lower. You can see the highway and everything in front of it, the buildings in front of it.
From the beach, 31 miles away?
Yeah. That's what blew my mind, is because I was like, okay, so I shouldn't see any of this, right? Like none of it.
Well, no, you should.
Or, I mean, I should.
Just
like,
depends on
see-
what it just depends on it.
Just the tops of the buildings is what I mean. Like I should only see.
Well,
a
it depends on
little
how
bit.
tall I mean, I don't know how tall the buildings are in New Orleans.
I mean, no.
What's the tallest building in New Orleans? The tallest building in New Orleans is 697 feet tall, which you'd be able to see like the vast majority of that.
Yeah.
So like I don't know what the issue is.
Okay, like
you should be able to see stuff from the beach. Yeah.
Right, but if the math says that thing that's 600 feet tall, you should only be able to see, I don't know, what does it say? 300 of it, 200 of it?
It depends on what your elevation is and how far away it is, but like you
Well, from
could
the more
see
you-
like you could see like the top 2/3 of it, depending on
Right,
where you
but
are.
You can see 3/3. Like, what if you can see more than that?
Well,
And
you
what
can't
if-
see. Okay, so answer me this:
What if
Can
you
you
can't?
see the street, like the ground level
You can see, yeah, you can see traffic at night, yeah, absolutely.
from the
You zoom
beach?
in.
I don't believe you.
Yeah. On the highway that runs right in front of the Superdome.
Wait, are you across the? So you're across Lake Pontchartrain?
Yeah.
Okay,
By
so
Mandeville.
where in like Mandeville or?
Yeah, I was standing right by the, what do you call it? The Sunset Point Fishing Pier. Right there,
All right. One
40
sec, let me
highway.
punch this in. Sunset Point Fishing Pier. Okay, so I found where you are. Let's go find the elevation. I guess it's there's a little inlet right next to Mandeville. Have to zoom in a lot. Can't find it on the map. Is it right next to the highway? Yeah, I guess it's right next to the highway, right?
Yeah, it's just to
So
the
right
east of it.
there. Okay, so the elevation there is 11 feet, right?
Okay.
So we'll add in 6 feet on top of that, because I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Wasn't it already at 9 though?
No, I gave you 3 feet initially. So let's say, so we have 11 and 6, right? So 17 feet. Now, you should be able to see, I guess, only like 300 feet of the tallest building and is obstructed.
Right, you can see much more than that. So, like, let me ask you.
Can you?
If I was
How do you know? Have you met? Wait, so you're telling me that you can see that you can see traffic, in New Orleans
Right out.
from across the lake?
Yeah, there's the interstate or whatever you want to call it. It wraps right around the Superdome. you can see the lights following it all the way towards it. In the sun, you can see or in the daytime, you can see the sun glinting off the superdome, like with the naked eye.
Okay, do you have pictures?
No, probably not.
Okay, because that'd be pretty impressive, pretty important, right?
I mean, yeah, I guess it would, but I still wouldn't want you to believe it. I think the whole point of me telling you is like, man, you got to go see it for yourself, because they say, yeah, you can only see a little bit because of the curve, and it's like, but we can see all of it.
I mean, I've been in similar situations, and it seems like I couldn't see all of the things. Like I've seen the cruise ships go over the horizon. I've seen buildings rise up from beyond the horizon as you're driving into town, right?
No, they definitely appear from the bottom up. Yeah. No,
so why do they do that if the Earth is flat?
Something with how our eyes work. I mean, we see in a conical shape, like a pyramidal shape, so everything converges.
We don't see in a pyramidal shape.
No, you do. That's why, like, if you're in a hallway, the floor appears to rise and the ceiling appears to drop.
That's just perspective. Perspective doesn't explain why you can only see the top, the tippy top of a building.
I'm getting there. Yeah. Okay, so you admit that the perspective thing is like.
Yeah, of course, perspective is real. Okay. It's geometry.
Right, so that's actually how your eyes operate. So when you see at distance,
this doesn't have anything to do with eyes. This is just a property of optics.
What do you see with your ears then? Like, I'm confused, man.
Like this happens to cameras too.
Right. Yes, it does. Absolutely.
So it's not like an eyeball thing. It's not like the Earth is shaped like a globe because eyeballs are round, right?
No, I'm not saying that's why they're shaped. I'm just saying eyeballs are shaped the way they are. We all have them, and they work a certain way. I don't know why anybody would argue against it. It's not saying that
nobody does
made them a certain way. It's just that's how they work.
Nobody thinks that perspective isn't real, but perspective doesn't explain why you can only see the tippy top of a building.
But you can't. You could see more than the tippy top of the building. That was my point. You can't.
So I've been in scenarios where as you're driving into town, you can only see the tippy top.
Yeah.
So why does that happen?
Because it's so far away that it's so small. You can't.
Why can I see the top clearly, but I can't see any of the bottom?
Because you know how like at distance, like our eyes only have like a resolution of like it's very like a small. Like,
why can I only see the top, which is smaller than the rest of it? If it was a resolution issue, I should be able to see the bottom because the bottom's bigger.
So you agree? Okay, so if what we're seeing.
No, I'm saying I don't agree. It's not because of resolution.
But you agree that our eyes work a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So okay, let's start there. I'm not arguing. We're on the same page. You're afraid that I'm gonna take a hard left and be like, boom, flat Earth, and you're like pumping the brakes. Like that's not what I'm doing.
No, I'm just asking you to explain it because it doesn't make sense.
Okay. So like when you see at distance, because there's such a small resolution angle that like light that we can like, that can shoot out photons and come back and we can process. And if the world works the way our eyes say that it works, where the ground appears to come up and the sky appears to drop down at distance, well then you have solid matter on the bottom and no matter up top, right? Because it's just empty air. So any light that's reflecting is gonna obviously focus on like the matter, so you can see the buildings and the ground, and then as you get closer, you can see more and more of it as the like resolution gets bigger.
So tell me, what's stopping me from seeing the bottom half of a building when it's far away? What's getting in the way?
I would say it's because you're not a superhero and nobody has like supervision.
But why? So the bottom half and the top half are the same size, right?
Why can't you run 1,000 miles an hour?
Wait. So the bottom half and the top half are the same size, right? The bottom half and the top half same size?
I don't know. I'm not an architect. I've never built a building. I would assume.
Okay, it's called the bottom half, right? Okay. So yes, it's the same size as the top half, right?
I can follow that. Yeah, 100%. The bottom is the bottom.
So the bottom half, same size as the top half. So why can I see the top half before I see the bottom half?
Because why can you see the? Because of the resolution angle, like.
But the resolution only cares about how big something is.
Dead ahead towards the horizon.
So
like the tops of the buildings are going to be in contrast to the empty sky. So any photons that reach your eye are going to they're gonna come from that.
So
the bottom is
pause.
gonna be so far, like it's yeah.
What's stopping the photons from the bottom getting to my eyeball?
Again, it's how your eyes work. I don't know. I did not create the eyes. Crazy. I
Well,
wish that
so
I did.
why are the so okay? So here's a question. So if I'm standing on the ground, right? The photons from the top half have to go further to get to my eyes, right? Because they don't have to go straight across; they have to go down and straight across, right?
Sure, I'll follow that.
So
Yeah.
why can I see the thing that's further away, because it has to go straight across and up or and down, but I can't see the thing that's closer, but they're equal in size? Why is the thing that's further away visible?
Why is the top of the building further away than the bottom of the building?
Because it's high up, right? So like my eye, like the line of sight is longer because it's the hypotenuse of the triangle.
Okay.
So why can I see something that's further away, but is the same size, but I can't see something that's closer, but is again the same size? It seems like you shouldn't be able to see the thing that's further away, and you should be able to see the thing that's closer.
Well, at that distance, I don't know how much further away it is, because like if I was standing right in front of a huge skyscraper, if I wanted to see the base of it, I'd look straight ahead, and if I wanted to see the top, I'd have to crane my neck. But if I moved back like 100, 200 miles, and we were on a simulated plane, like I would have to look straight ahead to see the top.
Well, yeah, so it's not much further. But here's another example. You know how like most skyscrapers, they have like a thin bit at the top and they have a fat bit at the bottom?
Yeah, they kind of taper, I think.
Or how about mountains? Mountains are smaller at the top than they are at the bottom, right?
Okay, yeah.
Why can you see the top of mountains first when they're smaller, when the top is physically smaller?
Because they're taller.
But why can't I see the bigger thing, which is the same distance away, but I can see the smaller thing if it's a matter of resolution?
Because it's right there at the horizon, and that's where
Why would that stop the light from getting to me?
It doesn't stop it from getting to you. It just
Then why can't I see it?
It's
that's what it means to see something, right? If the light gets to you, then you see it. That's what it means.
I mean, yeah, that's how eyes work.
So if the light can get to me, why can't I see it?
I guess I'll have to get back to you. I don't have to ask an eye doctor.
Well, no, you could talk to somebody who knows optics.
Right. I will go talk to like.
No. An eye doctor is not somebody who knows optics. A physicist is somebody who knows optics. An eye doctor knows about eyeballs, right?
Who deals with optics?
Yeah, a physicist, an optical physicist, or they're called AMO. It's a specialty in physics, atomic, molecular, and optics. But yeah, that's true. Eye doctors will know optics to a certain degree. That's true.
I mean, if I just had questions about the eye, yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But if you want to know about how light works and how lenses work, then you'd probably want to talk to a physicist. Oh, where'd he go?
Okay.
Oh, welcome back.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, I mean, the point is that there isn't really a good explanation for this on a flat Earth. Because there's nothing on a flat Earth, there's nothing preventing, like there's nothing blocking the light from the bottom of the mountain getting to your eyeball. And it's bigger than the top of the mountain. So, in principle, there shouldn't be a resolution issue.
But we have limits to our vision. Like, if we didn't have limits to our vision, I can't even imagine what the world...
But then why can we see the top and not the bottom? The top and the bottom are... I mean, the top is a little bit further away because mountains are, like, spread out, right? But, like, the top is going to be a little bit further away and much smaller than the bottom. And yet, somehow, we can't see the bottom, but we can see the top.
I know, it's weird. It's a weird phenomenon.
So it doesn't make sense on a flat Earth. But the reason it works on a globe Earth is because there's a bump in the way. The curvature of the Earth is literally in the way of the bottom of the mountain. That's why you can see the top, but not the bottom.
Okay, I mean, I know there's explanations on both sides. I'm just saying in one model, they say you cannot see this thing, or at least you can't see all of it. And it's like, okay, well, let me go check. And it's like, oh, there it all is. And the best thing I found online, I guess, from people being like, that's not what you're seeing, is it's just crazy. You didn't see that. And it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, I just haven't seen, like, I mean, maybe you did. I just would need to see a picture.
I wouldn't want you. I want you to go. I think you should do it. I think you have fun.
I've seen similar things myself. I see the mountains peeking over the horizon before I see the bottom. I've seen the buildings peeking over before I see the bottom, which is exactly what you would expect on a globe, and not what you would expect if the Earth was flat.
No, I get it. I was hung up on that too. And then
Well, so I've done the thing that you've asked me to do. I've done the thing where I go out and look for myself. And now you're telling me that actually if you go out and look somewhere else, you'll see something else. So I just want the evidence that I would see that, because I mean I'm not going to New Orleans anytime soon.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to go to New Orleans. I guess that's just the last place that I was that had a big enough body of water. But like anywhere, I guess would be.
I've been to bodies of water before. I've looked at stuff over bodies of water.
Do at least like 40 miles though, 50 miles.
I've looked over bodies of water before.
And you're still like, okay, that's cool. But I don't really, I don't know what else it would take for someone, I guess. I mean, if you, I guess, like, you make a whole thing out of talking about flat Earth online from the other side, so it wouldn't make much sense to really.
I mean, I do it once a week. Sometimes less.
Do you, okay, just, do you do, like, Bigfoot videos and like Loch Ness monster videos and like leprechauns and stuff? Like, why not though? But those are equally as
nobody believes in that.
There are people. I've met some Bigfoot people, man.
Well, sure. Nobody's hosting
on there that with the government's lying about aliens.
Oh yeah. I mean, maybe I would do that, but you know.
Okay, so why flat Earth though? Like, I'm curious about that.
It's the bottom of the barrel dumbest conspiracy.
But even when I was still like looking into it on the fence, I didn't understand, because a lot of the things that I got pointed to, like flat earthers would say, watch this guy's video. Other people would be like, no, watch this science man guy's debunking stuff. And I always thought it was really weird. I'm like, why is the debunking guy like making 3 videos a day for like 5 or 6 years about this? Like, if I didn't believe the Earth was flat, if I didn't believe in Santa Claus, you couldn't get me to go on camera and entertain, hey, Santa Claus isn't real. I would move on with my life. It's weird that.
Are you a godly man?
No, I'm not religious. No, my dad tried to take me to church when I was a kid,
so
but I wasn't.
I'm an atheist. There are a lot of people who do debates about the existence of God too. Even atheists who do it. And you'd be like, well, why are you debating God if you're an atheist? Because it's a thing to talk about. Also,
that's what I'm saying. It's
if you're
weird.
it's not weird, especially if you view that particular belief system as harmful.
But I think like that's what I'm saying. Like, atheists will debate the whole religion thing, the theism side, because it directly conflicts with their life. Like, if atheists are wrong, then that's pretty serious, right? It's the same thing
so I'm a physicist by like as my day job. So if the Earth is flat, I want to know.
Right, it's very interesting. It's crazy that it draws everybody in, because even with, like, okay, now that I'm on the flat Earth side, and I've been a flat earther, I guess, for like 7 years now, but I've seen there's a bunch
and you've
of
never heard of reciprocal zenith angles?
No, but it goes back to the whole 2x4 metaphor. Like, if people are arguing about how
have you not heard of those though? If you've been doing this for 7 years?
I didn't say I've been.
I thought you were a baby flat earther.
I didn't say I've been doing this for 7 years. That'd be weird.
Didn't you just say that you've been a flat earther for 7 years? Didn't you? Did I just
hear
that?
That means the first time that I heard about this, and then kind of was like, let me look at it, and then you go check it. Like, if I grew up knowing that 2 + 2 is 5, and someone said it was 4, and then they told me to go do it, and I was like, holy shit, it's 4. From that point on, I would be like, I'm a 4 person. It doesn't mean that I've every day sit on a chalkboard or scratch pages of paper adding 2 + 2 is 4. It just means I figured it out at one point, and I'm like, oh, okay. Next chapter of your life.
And you never thought to question. You never thought to question what the people were telling you.
No,
what, like the flat earthers were telling you.
Man, I hated flat earthers. You wouldn't believe the shit that I said to them. The names that I called them. I can't.
That's not what I asked. You never thought to question them. To actually, look into the claims that they make, look into the opposite claims, and evaluate them for yourself.
That's how we all got here. I figure that's how I got here. I knew the
I've never met a flat earther who actually understands classical mechanics, by the way.
Okay.
And so like the claims that people will make, like the claims that flat earthers will make, they're bafflingly poor understandings of, you know, how like Newton's laws work, how optics work.
Okay.
And so like look, I asked this to another guy. Would you trust a car mechanic to fix your car?
Possibly, yeah. I would think. I would
Would
like
you
to think
trust?
so.
Would you trust a brain surgeon to do brain surgery?
Do I have brain issue, or do I have like a pain in my toe and he wants to do brain surgery?
I'm just like if you needed brain surgery, would you trust a brain surgeon to do it?
Honestly, not even with the flat earth thing. Probably not. I think I would just go on with my life and then let somebody cut open my brain. That seems a little queasy. Let's go like if I had.
Okay. Would you trust a train conductor to drive a train?
Yes.
Okay. Would you trust an airline pilot to fly a plane?
If he could fly, yeah.
Okay. Would you trust a scientist to know their field?
If they did, yes.
Okay. That wasn't an answer.
Would I trust a scientist to know their field?
Yeah, to be familiar with their field, to like know what's true about their field and know what's not true about their field.
I mean, I would hope so. Like, let's hope so.
Would you trust a random person on the internet to know their field better than the scientist does?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so why do you trust flat earthers instead of scientists about the shape of the earth?
It's not about. I don't trust flat earthers. Like, I thought I said that the whole time. Is you have to get off the internet. Like, I listened to what the flat earthers were saying. I listened to what the other people were saying. I'm like, okay, so
why are you listening to what the flat earthers say at all?
Because to bust somebody in a lie, you have to listen to their story. If someone says, hey, I went to location X and I was there for an hour, and then I went to location Y and I was there for 20 minutes and I came back, then can we go check the cameras on that and check to see if they were actually there? Like, you have to listen to a story if you
do. But the first thing you have to do.
Why are you asking me why I would listen to them? If you get that.
No. So here's the thing.
Bro.
I appreciate that you wanted to listen to try to figure out what was wrong or whatever. But importantly, if you're not equipped to engage with what they're saying, to debunk what to know the field, why would you think that if you listen to them, you would know if what they're saying is right or wrong?
To know what their story is, so I can see if it's a lie or not.
Why do you think that you would know whether they're lying or not?
Well, if they're talking about something that I can understand, if person A is saying he can bench press 1,000 pounds and person B says no they can't, now I'm like, okay, so you say that you can and you say that you can't. I turn to person A and I go, can I see it? If he can't do it, then yeah, I agree with person B. It's not that I listened to them. It's not that I believe them. They said something. They said, hold on, what's going on? This person is saying this is X feet long. Well, let's measure it right here. And then whatever we measure it at is the truth. It doesn't matter if it was a flat earther online or somebody else on YouTube or TikTok. It doesn't matter what that person
so then
said.
Why haven't you looked at the reciprocal zenith angle measurements? That's like a
I'm gonna
surefire
Google
way to do it.
I'm going to Google it as soon as I get off of here and look on it, I guess.
You should.
You think it'll help?
It's pretty compelling. Also, look up this guy, Baron Rutledge. He's a surveyor. It's his day job.
Let me write this down. Do you say Baron?
Yeah, like Trump's kid, except he only has one R.
Okay, and what was the last one?
Rutledge, Rutledge, I want to say.
Okay, and is that the...
That's the surveyor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just write this down. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll ask him some questions. I'll watch some of his videos and ask him, like...
He's live all the time, too.
Everything. Okay. I don't follow too many people, but I'm always trying to grow my list. I've only been on TikTok like 2 weeks. I honestly got on here just to share.
How did you get the app? It's been banned from the App Store.
I had it for forever apparently on my phone, and then when it got free and it came back, everyone on YouTube and Facebook was talking about it. So I was like, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, isn't it? It's special, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Haas, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for being a good sport.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being cordial. Most people don't like us. Most people just want to insult. So I appreciate you.
Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah, man. You too.
I got to double check with something really quick. I may or may not have a meeting, which means I may or may not have to end live soon. I haven't had any guests through on YouTube yet, though, which is funny. Well, let's bring up another guest in the meantime. Come on. Guest box. All right, let's bring up Lexi. Lexi, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I'm not sure, but it's not flat. But is it perfectly
Not a
like
perfect sphere, but it's pretty damn close.
okay. Are you I heard you said you're not religious, but are you spiritual?
No.
No? Um hmm. Do you prefer to only talk about debunking flat earth?
I talk about religious stuff a few times a week, but just not today.
Sure.
But I'm gonna let you go, Lexi. Thanks for being here. By the way, y'all, remember to like the live. Remember to, follow if you haven't. And don't be in the guest box if you don't want to talk about the topic today, okay? Orihime, how's it going? Orihime? Okay, we got nothing. Let's talk to Judo. This guy, Mike Flatbird's been in the YouTube comments for a while and really talking his ass off. Judo, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. What shape do you think the Earth is?
So I do think it's round, but I wanted to know if I could ask you a question, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me, or is it
I
my
can hear
thing
you.
says it's not good? So okay, I have this big yoga ball, okay, and I do it from I have really herniated disc in my back, and so my son and I were playing in it, and we were taking a car and rolling the car around the big yoga ball, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And he started asking me questions about, like, if you were in a plane and you were flying the plane around the globe, would it be upside down? And I might be an idiot, I know, like, I literally could not explain it to him. I was like, I don't think you're not going to be upside. I said you're not going to be upside down, but I said it looks like you're upside down. I think. I'm just curious how you'd answer that,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
So there's two things going on. So from the perspective of somebody in the northern hemisphere, if somebody else is in the southern hemisphere, yeah, the other person would be oriented in the opposite direction. But down just means towards the center of the Earth. So if their feet are closer to the center of the Earth than their head is, then they're right side up. They just might be in the opposite orientation from you because the Earth is a ball.
That is so hard to understand. That's hard for me to understand. Maybe it's just a visual thing, but yeah, I get that. And they were saying, I was reading something online about like gravity, but I was thinking, like, if you were in the International Space Station, you were looking at a plane flying. I don't think I'm understanding this right. I guess it would look like it's upside down to me, but
Depending
it's
on
not.
which way you're oriented. Yeah, it very well could. Upside down just so it depends on what you mean. If by upside down you just mean your head is closer to the ground than your feet are, then no, they wouldn't be upside down. But like if I go and if I just go stand on my head, everybody else will look upside down to me, right? If that's all you mean by upside down,
That's
just
true.
like opposite orientation from me, then yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah, I could try to explain. Yeah, but no, I appreciate that because he hit me with that, and I'm like, oh, I feel like an idiot. I have no idea how to answer that.
You're good. All right, but I am gonna let you go. But thanks for being
All
here.
right, thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, take care.
All right, y'all. Looks like we're winding down. I might have to end the live soon anyway. Me. Me's not connecting. Yes, I do have a meeting at like 10 p.m. because I have a collaborator in California. That's why. This happens actually quite frequently. So yeah, I think we're just gonna end the live here. We'll end it a little bit early just in case I have a meeting. And you know, we're winding down. So thank you guys all for being here. Thank you guys for being so generous and enjoying. I know that we had a fiery start with the what's his face? Globe Destroyer, whatever his name was. Very, very fun live. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll change the topic, but we'll do it anyway. And take care, everybody.